Hello, everybody, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, your executive producer here, and thanks for tuning in to watch or listen to whatever it is you're about to watch or listen to. In these trying times, we really do appreciate everyone that feels that we are worth their time, and we hope that we're able to give you something entertaining to while away the time as you spend it. We particularly want to thank those of you that feel like we're worth financially contributing to, particularly our $25 and up supporters on Patreon, who are Antitonic, Drevian Alexander, Cat Waterflame, Rowan Parker, and Samantha Bates. Yes, I read that off of a list. Thank you very much for supporting us. I know that in these uncertain times, finances are tough for everybody, so that you're willing to donate to us means a lot to all of us here, and we thank you. That being said, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. We're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Hunter the Vigil Terminus Tendency, a World of Darkness game run by me. I'm William. I'm your storyteller. And joining me today, we have, I don't remember the order these portraits go in, so fuck it, Jeremy.
Hi, I am Jeremy. I am playing Nina Sky. I don't remember what my thing's raised. It's something about secular Satanist rock star.
And Neighborhood Watch. You basically got everything except for the Neighborhood Watch
secular. That's right. And Neighborhood Watch. And I am not in the world of fluffy bunnies.
Acting in the Union.
In the Union, yes.
And John.
Hello, I'm John, and I'm playing Zero Albright, the Chiron Group Atlanta Director of Operations. And I'm in an episode of Resident Evil.
You are an episode of Resident Evil, sir.
Yes.
And Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara, and I'm playing Thomas Smith, Ashwood Abbey laborer.
And Jack.
Hey everybody, I'm Jack. I'm playing Nikolai Dalka, member of the Ascended Ones and back alley sawbones and unlicensed physician who is not in the world of fluffy bunnies, but if you get him at the right time, he can send you there.
And Holly.
I'm Holly. I'm playing Astrid Ashwin. She's Knights of St. Adrian, and I am the world of fluffy bunnies, but they're all murder bunnies.
Good compromise.
It's nothing but the White Rabbit from Holy Grail. And Craig.
Hi, I'm playing Paul Phillips, adventure capitalist and coppice of the Scroll of the Aegis Kai Dorai, or Doru, and I am shooting for more of a Shaun of the Dead type feel, I guess.
Hell yeah.
I appreciate adventure capitalist.
Adventure capitalist is real good.
It's a shitty video game, but it's a good title.
But yes. When last we left off, the party had their ultimatum dropped on them, which is that they have a year from the day to retrieve the remainder of the 7 weird magical artifacts, 2 of which they've already acquired, in order to stop the world from imploding, probably.
Maybe.
I like the probably on the...
I'll stop
Probably, maybe.
the world to implode with you.
No one is quite certain how exactly the world will end, but odds are very good that if you do not get Colleen all 7 of these artifacts for her to consume before her next birthday, it will end.
I'm pretty certain it's going to end with a bang, not a whimper.
And not just the world, there's a pretty good chance that reality would just end.
But really, isn't that already the world?
Teenagers, am I right? Don't get them the right presents and it's the end of the world.
Awesome.
I mean, you could go further. You could say, don't get them the right thing for dinner.
And last week, we spent the entire episode not going to bed.
Yep.
We rejoin with the next day. There was a number of plans that were going to be undergone over the course of the next day. So does anyone want to take the lead at the beginning?
I arrived back at the hideout with a cake and a present. because it's Colleen's birthday, and
Astrid,
we
yep.
have our priorities straight.
That's also what Astrid was doing. So, 2 cakes and balloons.
Come down. I would have brought you. So to Colleen, hand a cake.
Takes an entire cake.
You also have a present, but it's parked outside.
He just looks up with this sort of, what?
Gestures towards the whatever our exit is.
She sets the cake down for a second.
Roughly what time is this?
We'll say 11:30 a.m.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Nico will be awake.
So you would have heard that then too.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll lead Colleen and whoever else cares outside where there is what is very clearly some sort of vehicle, but wrapped up in a present, and like wrapped up in thing with a bow on it.
You know, normally this is sort of a sweet 16 kind of thing, but you know, a year late, I guess.
I wasn't around for your 16th birthday.
Mm.
It better be a tank.
It's not.
Was she Paul's not here? I would assume he's probably at the labyrinth at this point. But just out of character knowledge, was she still with the monks a year ago, or was she?
Yes,
Okay.
roughly speaking, yes.
Okay, all right.
So yeah,
It was you're not certain of the exact timeline, but she was either among the mage monks among the Akashic Brotherhood, or she was a prisoner of vampires, and you're not certain which.
Yeah, I couldn't remember how long she was held by the vampires.
once she opens it up, or if she needs any help, it gets opened. It is a blue, like a dark blue Jeep.
Yeah.
Dope.
She opens it up, and I don't know how to drive.
That's what these are for. As I hand over, 1, a fake driver's license, and 2, a receipt for driving lessons.
Oh God, Sarah's like the fun uncle, but like the bad one.
I figured you probably don't want to get your actual information in any government official records at the moment, so a fake ID, but you are expected to attend the driving lessons.
All right.
Figured it'd be better than you having to rely on everyone else for driving.
Thanks. I'm assuming one of you is probably going to want to be around me at all times. So even when I'm going to go take driving lessons,
Yes, but it's
probably having one of you with me.
Yes, but in the event of a monster attack, it's very difficult to drive and shoot at the same time. It'd be good for your hands to be on the wheel.
Right. The person with the magic powers is the person who should be driving. She says with an eyebrow raise.
Person with the magic powers.
And that's
is the
why I
person
didn't
being
get you
hunted.
a car. I figured you'd just manifest one when you needed it.
It takes some effort to manifest something intentional.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Accidents I can do without trying. But, that's kind of an accident. That's kind of what an accident is.
Also, driving is fun.
I'll take your word for it.
Nico sticks his head inside. Did you get her an automatic or a stick?
Automatic.
Okay, good man.
At this point, Astrid's probably walking up with like a mass of balloons and a present and a cake.
Do you
2
need any
cakes.
help with
Okay,
any of
everyone's going to
those?
be having cake today.
Apparently, we didn't coordinate.
It's fine. You can always use extra cake.
This is
Yeah.
true.
She will hand her a present and the balloons.
She will take the balloons and then take the present and open it. What is inside?
What game system do we have? For
There was a
the
Nintendo Switch downstairs.
Switch. Okay, it's a bunch of games for that, basically.
Okay. She sort of.
And a lot of high quality alcohol.
That'll go well with the car.
Oh my God. Here's a brand new vehicle. Here's some high proof vodka. Have fun. No.
And a fake driver's license. Nothing can go wrong here.
God.
How is Nina the best influence?
Oh God.
Alcohol helps her.
So very wrong with this group.
Yeah, at that point, Nico will be like, and I'm sure you know that those two don't mix.
I've been told, yes.
Wait, what's wrong with what
Good.
group?
Well, one of you got her a vehicle, and the other one got her a ton of liquor.
And games.
And games.
Use all three together at the same time.
Fuck you,
Great
Zero.
idea.
No, that's not Zero. That's me.
I mean, let's put a specific point on it. One of us got a untrained person a car and a fake ID, and the other person got that same 17-year-old a lot of high quality alcohol.
I also got her training.
Yeah, I would like, for the record, for any kind of criminal inquest that evolves out of this, to know that Paul was not here during this part.
You act like I don't own the cops.
Fantastic. I'm so pleased with us as people.
And to be fair, in defense of Astrid, you've previously established this girl has a supernatural tolerance for alcohol.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely
I mean,
ridiculous.
yes,
tolerance.
but still, it's the point of it all.
She usually only drinks it when we're around, so it's fine. I am going to be a great mom.
She
It's fine.
Hey,
she specifically drinks it when you're around so that her nightmares don't get you all killed.
she
Right.
is of
As-
legal drinking age in other countries.
As Amy
Absolutely.
Poehler, as Astrid becomes Amy Poehler from Mean Girls.
I'm a
cool
fun
mom.
I'm just saying.
Yes.
I mean,
This is
If you're gonna
fantastic.
drink, please do it in the weird supernatural hideout that your dad haunts.
Gonna
Haunted.
drink, I'd rather you do it in the house.
In the haunted
God.
house.
Yes.
well, festivities abound, and then we need to go hunting
Indeed.
So more festivities.
of a different nature.
Right. We should probably figure out where Paul's at some point.
I pick up my phone and
Beep.
I do it at the same
Meanwhile-
time. Click, ding.
Meanwhile,
we both get a busy signal.
yes, actually,
Yes.
because Paul, you're somewhere else. Somewhere where phone signals do not reach ever. So, shifting over to a hidden location, underground, deep underground, hidden by a labyrinth full of hallucinogenics and narcotics. You, Paul, are. Yeah, I don't think they ever established what the second initiation is. Nope. You're going for which dot?
Oh, I'm not taking it yet, but
Oh, you're not?
down,
Okay.
down the road. I want
Sorry.
just want to make sure that was something you were okay with some point this season.
Mhm.
This is just I want to trade in one of the relics, and I want to report into the what do they call them?
The people.
Sages, the
Scroll?
Scryas. Well, whoever the local head of the labyrinth is.
Meanwhile,
You're looking for the cigars.
Cigaris, yeah, that's it.
Informer is playing on the loudspeakers.
Informa. I can't do that
I
fast.
figured
Bit that
the
comes
head,
after it.
figured
also
the
gotta
head of
make
the
a
local labyrinth
slowly
was
hit
called the
the-
Minotaur, but okay.
The Minotaur isn't in charge of the labyrinth. The Minotaur is stuck in the labyrinth. You're thinking of Minos.
No, the head of the local labyrinth, is named Gareth,
So
wears very tight pants.
you make your way through and report to Maxwell, who is your contact in the scroll. I'm going to assume that is the name because I don't think we ever actually got the confirmation on that name from the first season.
Totally fine. How goes it, Maxwell?
Well, always interesting news whenever you're around, Paul, considering the number of high stakes attacks that have been undergone and the recent news of the creature of the Fae that is roaming around, causing roving blackouts.
Indeed, we've got, as I've previously mentioned in reports, we've got someone monitoring at least the blackouts, trying to track down a better location on it. But got a bit more information that the higher ups might want. Also, got a bit of a project for the boys in the temple.
Indeed.
And here it is, all back safe and sound. And he produces the scale. And we'll place it back in one of the containment boxes, and we'll fill out the requisite paperwork. And I'd look, if I may, if we've got an Art of the Succubus, might have some work with some infernal sorts where it might come in handy.
All right, we can certainly arrange that trade. Check this one in, check another one out. I'm assuming that's a straight dot trade.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
yeah.
2 for 2.
Yeah, so he will take your item and then disappear behind into the vaults for some time. You wait about 20 minutes and he comes back with the artifact requested. And the Eye of the Succubus, for those at home, is, let's see, which book was that in?
It is...
Is that core book?
No, it's definitely not core book. I have it. I've copied all the relic stuff into a little document. I can read it to you if you want, just in brief, and I can post it to you so you have the whole thing.
Go ahead and read it out for us.
The whole description, or just what it does?
Give us the description.
The Heart of the Succubus artifact is said to have been given to a witness by a demon in 1453. The demon and the witness, an Orthodox priest, were living in Constantinople when Sultan Mehmed II rolled towards the Hagia Sophia to convert the basilica into a mosque, or basilica into a mosque. The Orthodox priest, one of many who attended the church, sorry, it's been a long day, was preparing to throw himself on the swords of the Sultan's guards in a vain effort to protect the Grand Cathedral, when a demon intervened. By some bizarre trick or twist of fate, the demon took the priest's place. As she lay dying in the street, she bade the priest cut out her heart. When he tried, he found a remarkable mechanism in its place. The priest didn't live much longer and died from an unrecorded disease in 1456. But before he did, he sold the demon's heart to a Greek trader whose family buried it with him a few years later. If you don't mind, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit of the
go for it.
entire history of this artifact. But the Heart of the Succubus is a round bronze object about the size of a large man's palm and resembles a modern-day compass. Its intricacy is incredible, and the artifact is highly detailed and tells a familiar story. Each time the needle shifts, gears click beneath the surface, causing tiny cast figurines to move along the sides of the dial. These figures appear to be medieval and reenact the punishments of sinners in hell. The heart detects demons in defiance of their cover. It requires some skill to use, as the needle swings wildly while in use, and the precise direction must be defined by trained observation of the mechanical figures. It takes wits and academics to use it. It's instant, and if I ever get a dramatic failure, William, I rely on you to convince me that somebody else is a demon, because that's what it does.
You have never seen Under Zero's glasses.
And he is immune to fire, apparently.
Not apparently, evidently. You all have seen me walk through flames. Well, except Nina and Thomas.
So, with that artifact retrieved, you return to the surface to find you have 2 missed calls.
Oh, I did. I mean, if you want to do it later, or
yes, sorry,
hand-wave it, I did want to report in.
So we'll handle this real quick. You deliver your report to the Cigaris, who makes it known that he will put the labyrinth's resources to tracking and keeping an eye on whatever relic information they might be able to find. It is, after all, the pride of the Aegis Kaidoru to know relics, and the fact that a lone mage knows more about artifacts hidden in the city than they do is a problem that they intend to fix.
And two extra things. One, I would like to suggest, which I think I can as a Copus, as rank 4, I'd like to suggest a project for the temple that they figure out how to either replicate or clone these artifacts, because if we can keep them or keep a copy of them, that's far better than having all of them just get eaten and disappear.
Indeed, and they will put their resources towards that as well. They've gotten rather skilled at replicating lesser scale artifacts, but the items that you are speaking of are of such a scale that it will be difficult to try and attempt, but they will put their resources towards it.
Does Paul transmit the information that ultimately we're going to feed these to a girl and she's going to eat them, more or less?
He shares the information that that's what the ghost is asking.
Okay.
The main thing that he is obfuscating when he deals with the local temple is the fact that they are now buddy with a bunch of werewolves, because that will not go over super well. So that stuff gets left out of reports, but most other stuff is transmitted in a fairly straightforward way.
Really, we're only buddy with one werewolf.
We fought beside and did not kill a whole pack of them.
Yeah.
So that's a problem for me, for Paul personally.
Which sect are you a member of?
The scroll, but that's the thing. That's not. If I'm talking to another member of the scroll, he's probably a little more relaxed about it, but he certainly doesn't put it in any overt reports. Because if a member of the sword gets a hold of it,
yeah. The scroll just like to fudge some numbers that way.
Yeah, pretty much. That's why I think Maxwell. The other thing is he'll do a brief update on everybody else and also let them know that there is a new member of Ashwood Abbey in town. I have the following notes. Magic sword, has never been to a doctor. Has a tabula rasa pretty much fully up till about 2 years ago. Otherwise full memory loss. Has belly button, I have written in all caps, and possible brainwashing. So those are the notes that I pass along.
Yep.
Has belly button.
It seemed potentially important last week, so I wrote it down.
Does indeed has belly button.
We were making
not
sure
be
it was not a
clone.
clone. So
Good. The best clones have belly buttons.
That's what I say. Like using the it doesn't have a belly button, therefore it's a clone argument is sort of like at that point you're just telling the clone makers what they need to fix.
it was a question that Nico asked. Right. I wrote it down.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. If they don't have a belly button, you automatically know something weird is up. If they do have a belly button, that doesn't mean nothing weird is up.
Right.
But it at least isn't
somewhere
obvious on the surface.
Somewhere in some Chiron group office, somewhere in America, someone just got shot because the latest clone didn't have a belly button.
There's a big whiteboard with just the word belly button circled several times.
Yeah.
No, a post-it note on like the side of a vial. Like you have to remember, don't forget that bit.
And like underneath it just says number of fuck ups so far. It's like a tally mark of like up to 7.
Somebody is very wearily flipping back a counter. Days without belly buttons, 0.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no,
right.
no, days without belly buttons, 7.
Everything I have in the labyrinth. And I will wait for instruction from the cigars.
All right. And yeah, he will.
I come out. Then I'm sorry. You said I come out and then I get the text.
Yeah. You come out and you find you have 2 missed calls.
Okay. I will check we have a group text, right?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone who's checking will get a text back. Sorry, out of service range. And then next text is just stopping to pick up a cake. We'll be right back.
Text him back. 2 cakes already. Don't need third.
Asterisk text. Always need more cake.
Responding to that, we're going hunting later. No need to overeat.
Text back. Did anyone bring anything savory?
Astrid
Hey,
Nico-
I bring
Nick-
chips.
Nico
Astrid
will
texts
text back.
alcohol.
What do you want?
Text back.
So-
Making one stop. Will be back soon.
Sorry, Jeremy.
I will.
Sorry. There's a comment.
Relevant question. Is this a text thread including Thomas and Nina? Because the text thread does not.
Oh.
Nina. I mean, we have Nina's
I
number
thought
from before.
You do.
I thought it
Um,
did.
I'm
include
just
Nina.
saying there is a text thread and then there is adding people to text thread.
I feel like well, actually, that's up to Paul because Paul sent the initial text. So
Yeah, Paul would add Nina back in.
Okay.
But
And
I
you don't have Thomas's number
Thomas's
yet, do you?
number.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thomas
okay.
would then get
Never
added
mind.
in with
Okay.
no. Thomas would get added in with Nina. So I recently so Thomas will be short a text in this, unfortunately, because that's how texting works. But yeah,
once I see that Thomas has been added, I save Thomas's number to my contacts.
I would assume that all of you do so.
Yep.
If,
Mhm.
Nina, if you gave Paul Thomas's number,
Are we
last
doing a
night-
party? Should I bring a 6-pack?
Alcohol is covered.
what
I
time
say
is it at this
Yeah,
point?
already covered. Astrid will say.
Morning.
By this point, it's probably about noon.
Okay.
Does
Ben.
Sorry, what was that, Jeremy? We only got the tail end of that.
When?
Okay.
Nico will respond just because he's decided it's an executive decision and just say 2 p.m. pregame before DJ Senti.
Sweet.
All right.
You have set a schedule.
Yeah.
At 2 p.m. begins the pre-drinking.
You're right.
I will. I will stop on the way back, or I guess have my lift stop on the way back to pick up a bunch of food from Sonic. Is that still her favorite place?
It's the place that she pointed you out to last time, but I mean,
I'll just get a bunch of food from Sonic to bring back.
It's either that or Waffle House.
There's a Huddle House out here that survived.
Ooh.
there's a Huddle House.
A Huddle House.
It is clinging on to its last legs and probably isn't long for this world.
They redesigned the building not too long ago. Apparently, they're doing good.
But
They're not a franchise anymore. It's just the one establishment. But
but you bring back food, real food that isn't a pile of sugar and various forms of icing.
hey, that is real food.
Gonna go talk to a demon. You got a carbo load, man.
And all of you pre-drink as much as you so desire.
Paul does not.
Zero also does not drink.
I think you might be muted, Jeremy.
No, I'm not muted.
Okay.
So yeah, I will go pick Thomas up.
All right.
Head over.
All right.
So one.
I have brought a bag of tortilla chips. They may or may not be expired. It's what I had.
Oh, for God's sakes. All right. On the way. We'll pull into like a grocery store. I just
Oh,
shove
thanks.
some cash in your hands. Like, go pick something up other than that.
Cool. I go and get some nicer tortilla chips, some nice dip. Feel like we need some good dips here.
It's
And if there's any left, I'm gonna get some ramen for just later.
Chips, salsa, ramen. Perfect
Yep,
college student.
I'm ready.
Perfect college student grocery run.
And 3 Slim Jims from the checkout line.
Yeah.
plus a pack of bubble gum.
Nah, nobody chews gum anymore.
Are you kidding? That's my staple food.
That explains quite a bit.
Curbs hunger pangs.
All right, got some food. Thanks.
Yep.
Eventually, all of you arrive around 2 p.m.
So, I say to the other people, to the other hunters while we're eating and drinking, how are we approaching this DJ Senti?
Mm,
Pointy
That's-
end.
First of all,
Nina has-
when are we going? Are we going like shortly? Are we waiting till evening?
Well, it's a club.
Me-
It'll be open in the evening.
It'll be open in the evening, but I might be able to get us in before that.
I was gonna say Nina's probably our best in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I suppose when we go will determine on how we want to go.
It's also a question of how do we approach this.
Yes.
Yes.
So
So,
using your context means she probably knows, or this DJ Senti person, right? Would kind of know who's coming.
No, not necessarily. I don't.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know Senti from the life. I know Senti from the other life.
Hmm.
do we know for certain? I know we have two names. Do we know that DJ Senti is this
Demon
no.
is less than
Licentia for certain?
We have a really good clue of it, but no, we don't know.
I've also picked up something from the local author that might make it a little bit more simple to tell the difference. And he will tap a pocket in his blazer.
And that
Is-
thing is what?
He pulls out a intricately carved compass, like I described earlier. Says just something that's useful in finding people who may be a little bit more demonic than they want to let on.
That does so how?
Well, yeah, you can take a look, and I will hold it up for Nina to see. And it looks like a intricately carved thing with scenes of demonic torment all over it.
That doesn't explain how.
Well, see, there's a little bit of a trick to it. And he stops talking and puts it back in his pocket.
For God's sakes, answer the question, Paul.
It's like asking, do you know how to use a an harmonic resonator or something?
No, I don't. But if I bring it into a public area in a city that I care about, I'm going to make sure I understand how it works.
Oh, it's not anything that's going to cause an explosion. It's just the carvings on it will move in a certain way to indicate the general location and presence of something that's demonic. And as we get closer, it's sort of like a compass. If you get real close to a magnet.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, no, that'll be good.
Um,
Spanner, is that demon specific, or does it pick up other types of things too?
No, just demon specific.
Okay, I've got something I can use to give us a bit of a broader field of vision if we need to.
Probably would not be a bad idea. Again, we've been there before, and it's been crawling with zombies and werewolves and all sorts of other creatures.
Mhm.
And
Keeping
as-
every eye open and triangulating as best we can. Probably not a bad idea.
It is definitely a supernatural hotspot.
And as I've stated before, I am somewhat in tune with the spiritual realm. I can determine if there are ghosts or any of the sort nearby.
Sweet. So that tells us information. How are we approaching this?
Well, if we don't,
I would prefer just going in and having a conversation.
I would tend to agree, particularly since we do not know this DJ's particular alignment.
Mm-hmm.
Even then, we're looking for information on this nail. Any demon will instantly know that we mean to take it where they would want it, so we'll have to figure out the method of communicating our desires without giving specific information.
Right.
We definitely need to approach this cautiously.
Yes.
Yep.
Ms. Sky, is your connection with this DJ of the sort where you could get us an introduction?
I don't know them super well. We have We're not on a first name basis. Couldn't honestly tell you if we've ever spoken. But I have performed there regularly. I can get us in.
Are they an organizer or an artist? If we-
Artist.
DJ Paul.
Yeah, they're
Disc
an artist
jockey.
there. They're not. Well, no, it's a valid question because they could also be the owner of the club or something like that. To the best of my knowledge, they aren't. So
What you do know is that the owner of the club is Cynthia Lomax. You've met and spoken with her.
right.
And you know that DJ Senti is the prize DJ of the place. It's named after her.
Mm-hmm. I would be seriously surprised if Cynthia was not aware of a lot of what was going on there. There is so much supernaturalness there that I can't imagine that she doesn't.
You think a talent agent might be of the sort that might be able to get us an intro if you can't?
If we potentially, do you know a talent agent?
I think I might have something. He reaches into another pocket inside the jacket, fiddles through a few things, and then pulls out a card that, in a very understated style, just says Max Kennedy, agent.
I would recommend that for this particular information gathering session, at maximum 2 people approach directly, and the rest be exterior surveillance and backup in case things go awry.
Agreed.
Probably the best
William,
idea.
given Nico's background, is this a club that he is welcome at as someone who provides party favors, or is this a club that he is not welcome at because he provides party favors?
This club is not averse or a stranger to any form of drug deal, back alley or otherwise.
Correct
Okay.
me if I'm wrong. Isn't this where we initially met Nico, who was in the process of helping 2 people down from a bad trip?
No, that was a different location, if I recall correctly.
All right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The DJ Sentis was one of the first places you stopped by at the beginning of the first season.
Right.
Right.
It was literally, I think it was literally your first place that you went after leaving the Waffle House in the first episode.
We met.
I was thinking that was also the place we went back to, and we met the other person from Ashwood Abbey and the I can never remember the other brotherhood, the like sausage guy.
The Faithful of Shulpe.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did meet them there,
Okay.
but we did not meet Nico there.
Yeah.
Got it.
No, you you met Nico in a Waffle House.
Why would you have been helping someone down from it? Oh.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
This. My personal recommendation, simply based on previous interactions with this particular kind of crowd, would be Nico and Nina on the approach. Paul, what's the range at which that compass can be effective?
Paul opens his mouth and says words. It doesn't seem to have a range.
Let me see if I can find it. Hang on.
Here, it might be Mortal Remains.
If it's Mortal Remains, then I can definitely find it.
Like I said, I have the whole thing. I just copied them all.
I guess I
Can we say it's Mortal Remains, page 129.
29.
I will add
Yes,
that.
Heart of the Succubus. There we go. Heart to Text Demons. Witten Academics. Character determines it determines the direction of the nearest demon. Period.
Right.
It simply points me to the closest one. If we're outside, that actually may be better because that means at least we can walk around and determine that they are in fact inside and not 50 kilometers off in the other direction.
Yes.
We just have to
confirm
make
that Senti is performing this evening.
Well,
I'm going to say it's a Tuesday. And from what you know, that's her regular evening.
Okay.
then, my suggestion would be thus, and feel free to counter with others. Nina and Nikolai make the approach. Communicate with Senti directly. See if you can ascertain anything in specific about their connection to demons in the city, or if they are themselves one, and any information you potentially can get about this nail. As cautiously as possible, to not give away our full hand, I trust the two of you to do that. Astrid and myself will be inside the club for physical offense backup in case things go horrendously wrong. Thomas and Paul on the outside, keeping monitor, Thomas keeping Paul safe, Paul confirming the presence of demons within the club.
Paul turns and gives Thomas a winning smile and says, "Right, lad, what do you say? First mission on the ground, huh?"
Are there any objections to this particular suggestion?
No. I think it's a good configuration. I would prefer when the Nico and I when we're talking with, assuming once we can confirm what we strongly suspect about her nature. Honestly, not that I'm going to mention a lot of you guys, but otherwise I like to be pretty upfront. There's no point in trying to lie to a fucking demon.
You don't play a player, yeah.
I'll leave the specifics of that to the two of you. I trust your judgment.
Sounds good.
We also, also because we don't know a lot about the demons in the city, and I would like to know more. Thank you very much.
Colleen, who do you want to be partnered up with?
I can stay near Paul. Just be on the outside, keeping an eye out.
All right.
Also, it draws less suspicion if there are less young people in the club.
That doesn't matter one way or the other with this club.
Not with the club necessarily, no, but with our prey.
And Nico shoots Paul a glance and just sort of pats the pocket that has the one-eyed king in it.
Paul
I
nods.
guess my only concern with that, and I'm generally in favor of it, and I'm not saying this is a no, we shouldn't do it. It's just something for the outside people to be aware of. If we know this information, it's very likely that some other power players do. And if that's the case, Colleen is once again a key to a lot of things.
Nina, I'll follow your lead on this. What do we want to know about this nail? Obviously, where it is. But are we looking for function, that sort of thing?
That would be good.
Okay.
If it's, if a mortal touches it, it turns them into, it allows Lucifer to appear. Whatever it does, then we should probably know that going in.
Seems reasonable.
So yeah, function would be good. Location.
Who else would be most likely to
looking for it?
Is it worth approaching it in the same way that we did with the local werewolves and telling them that we're willing to work together?
I'm not opposed.
So
yeah, because
while it is obviously mostly Christian folklore, do be aware that there are always risks in making bargains with demons.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. Just like there's risks with making bargains with big furry death machines. And well, I wasn't going to go there,
He just
but
sort of smiles at Nikolai. Unfortunately,
said it.
Nico gives him a wink.
the Chiron group. Unfortunately, the Chiron group does not yet have the technology to bind one at their words, which was more the mystical element I was suggesting the warning of.
Yeah, no.
Well, from that
guys,
note-
you guys are more the fuck ton of lawyers than you.
Yes.
we've made deals with a lot of types. Vampires can do that. Changelings apparently can do that. So I'm not that concerned about that because I don't agree to much, but yeah.
I'm not too terribly concerned
Something to
either,
keep in
but
mind.
yes, vocalizing
For
it is
sure.
important.
Yes, no, absolutely fair.
Aside from that, those of you with more experience with this establishment, are there any extant threats that we should be aware of to keep our eyes out for from this establishment, aside from the entity we're looking to contact?
Werewolves, vampires, demons, changelings, ghosts.
That specifically that have specifically been encountered at this location.
Vampires, werewolves, changelings,
Zombies.
ghosts, zombies.
Miss Guy is not exaggerating. I think every time we've been there, we've run into at least 2 or 3 different spooky.
It's a
sorts.
supernatural hotspot. Everything could conceivably be there. That's why it's good we're going hopefully before it opens, because less of them will be there.
Well then.
Which, for those of you running the math, it's unlikely that all of these things running at the same time going to this
Right.
location are unaware of who runs the place.
Right.
Right.
And Miss Sky, back to your previously expressed concern. I don't mean to sound dismissive, but I think having Colleen with us outside gives us a quicker means of egress if it becomes necessary.
Absolutely. No, I agree. It's like I said, it's definitely something where I'm not saying, no, that's a bad idea. That's actually a good idea. Just realize that the group of you outside will be the smaller of the group.
Question.
So it's easier to get some, if they really quick nab her, it's easier to get her into a car and get away. Just, again, like Zero, it's something that had to be said to just so everybody's aware of it.
Question. Of the 3 that will be outside, how many of you can drive?
Oh,
I can drive.
I can drive as well. And Colleen apparently has recently obtained both a vehicle and a driver's license.
But not lessons yet, which is the important
Congrats.
part.
If push comes to
really?
shove, I can probably pull some magic and learn how to drive, at least for a little bit.
I mean,
Relevant.
also see a situation like this is why I also came with presents. So they're just in the car, and she runs out, comes back
Ooh, I'm
really
excited.
quick with just a decently sized box. That one unwrapped has a couple of Glocks, a taser, and an ASP baton.
Oh, you guys get me the best presents, she says as she takes both guns.
Self-defense.
Speaking of, I say as I put a briefcase on the table and click it open and pull
You're
it
just
out.
trying to one-up everybody.
This is
That's
not.
all you're trying to do.
This is for everyone, not Colleen specifically. Inside there are a series of vials of clear liquid that are all stoppered, one for each. Holy water from our R&D department.
Oh, good.
Right?
Yeah.
It's
Does Nico know?
scientifically made holy water?
Blessed
you
by a
supposed to
priest
chug
and
it?
everything.
Okay, I was gonna say
I
we
wouldn't.
figured out the chemical composition of what a blessing is.
Do you think
If
that we?
anybody could.
Do you think that of all the organizations that we would not understand the value of having a priest on staff?
Oh no, you absolutely would. I just don't know.
Exactly what to
Does
get
Nico know
That's
anything
everything.
particularly about demons? If they have any vulnerabilities, anything
Yeah.
like that?
That's a good
Roll me intelligence and occult if you want to know that.
Okay.
What?
I will also roll.
Do I know anything of value that can be harvested off of them? A la any weak spots.
Also roll.
Alright.
I don't know shit.
Do I get any bonuses for my for the specificity of my question for my conspiracy?
I
Add
know
your
a
conspiracy
little
dots.
shit.
Yeah, because I figure harvesting things from demons is probably a thing I've learned. 2.
Nice.
Um,
All right.
does Thomas have anything to keep his giant fuck off sword in, or is he just wandering around like
Scabbard.
Cloud Strife?
Yeah,
Cloud
no,
Strife it is then.
Paul kind of taps his upper lip and says, we may want to swing by a sports supply store. Maybe find a fencing bag or a
Oh,
bag of
or a
skis,
piano
something to
case.
put your sword in.
no, we're good. We're good. I mean, not here, but we're going to a bar. We're gonna get you a pool cue bag.
Aren't those typically shorter
oh.
because pull cues can
Okay.
be collapsed?
Pool cues can be collapsed, but not all of them can.
Mm.
They make pool cue bags that are full length.
Are they wide enough?
Should be able to. Yeah.
That'll be good.
As you guys are
People
considering
tend to
this,
look at you weird if you're just randomly carrying
Murder weapons.
As
around.
you-
big.
you-
Well, I was gonna say big long things around.
yeah. But as you guys are considering this, by the way, some of you look over and see Colleen with almost practice precision, clear, drop magazine, reload, pull back. She seems to have been trained on gun work at least.
So
Here we go.
William,
Girl.
Nina's role and my role.
So yes, you're two. Nina, this is probably relevant to your character. You are aware that demons have something called a ban, which is a task or situation that they cannot abide. If you have the power to cause their ban to be broken, you have the threat over them. And they will do anything they can to prevent their ban from being violated. Because when it is, they lose a lot of power and sometimes just die, depending on how severe the ban is.
And Zero.
And with 2 successes, 0, there's a number of demon parts that can be grafted on. You know, the hand, oftentimes, or the eyes, vital organs.
Yeah. But
Okay, this is that demon,
and in that
not the other one.
in that particular sort of like understanding, do I is there a particular tool that is best used for harvesting those? Or
Silver.
is it so silver, not just silver, nothing else, nothing more special?
I mean, if you can kill the demon, you can sort of cut it up at your leisure, but blessed weapons typically will do the best job.
Okay. So, holy water.
Yeah.
Because we can't have a priest come and bless our arsenal. That would take too long.
I didn't specifically say it, but Paul will definitely take one of the vials.
As people are taking the vials, you can splash it directly on them or apply it to your weapons if you have something that is piercing. I say indicating
Weapons, yeah.
indicating to my crossbow, my compound bow carrying case.
As Astrid takes out her axes and starts applying it.
Yeah, melee weapons will be particularly effective on, yes. But don't apply them yet. Only apply them when you need it.
Oh, never mind.
I do like that.
That shit'll dry, man. Shit'll evaporate, and then you're fucked. Nico goes and grabs.
The effects are not super long. Apply before you swing.
Useful if applied in a spray bottle or a water gun, that sort of thing.
I have no idea on that particular end.
Water gun full of holy
We can
water.
get one of those at the sporting goods store.
That would
Seems
be
always worth a try.
that would be a question for the Maleficarium. I hear they like to put things in water guns.
The two with which we were most recently acquainted, I would imagine they put tequila in it and mainly shot it into their own mouths. But
Did you because I know there was some discussion of it, bring firearms because Thomas had requested one the night before.
Reach down, pick up another case that was hidden behind the table, set it down, click, click, and it's just a perfectly arranged row of pistols and submachine guns in this larger case. I also have a few rifle cases if anyone's interested.
I have a gun for you if you want.
I also have somebody's 45. Is that Nina's? It's from way back.
It probably is then, yes.
Okay. Then as she says that, Paul says, "Oh, Miss Sky, speaking of which, I've still got a loaner from you. Would you like it back?"
Oh, that's where Harry went.
Indeed.
I was wondering about that.
I don't think any dirtier than Harry was when you loaned him to me, but and he will.
I mean, Harry's pretty dirty.
He will produce it from under his coat and offer it out.
The pistols, by the way, are all 5.7s, FN 5.7s, and the submachine guns are this is all in the armory book. The submachine guns are P90s.
Armory or Armory Reloaded?
Armory.
Yeah, Armory Reloaded actually doesn't have a lot of weapons in it, other than like weird futuristic stuff.
Yeah, P90s, because that'd be the easier ones to acquire, and they're smaller.
And the pistol that the 45 that Nina had loaned Paul is a Colt 1911.
Yep.
So he will offer
Jackie will take that and just hand it over to Thomas.
Fair.
Ah, thanks.
This is my favorite.
Right. Cool.
It's very trusty. His name is Harry.
Hello, Harry.
But
Thomas will say very seriously down to the gun and then put it away.
Better off in your hands, lad. I will also pull out the shoulder holster that Paul is wearing and hand that over in case Thomas would like to wear it.
I would ask, because before we head out there and get in this, since we are hopefully doing this by discussion, like even if things look like they're about to get bad, like let Nico or I give the go ahead before rushing in to fight or defend or anything, because this could get tense conceivably. I don't want it to, but you never know. And if we think we can salvage it, but then someone comes in with holy water and giant swords and rocket launchers and whatever else we bring to this, that sort of kills the mood.
I think that's why it's best that Astrid and I are on the inside.
Right.
Because our weapons are far more concealable. I say,
yeah, legit.
Opening my coat to indicate the big fuck-off Bowie knife that's hidden there.
Do we have rocket launchers?
We do not have rocket launchers.
Can we get some? That sounds wonderful.
I can put in a call.
Astrid, hun, you're not putting me more at ease right now.
Not tonight.
I know.
You can always use a rocket launcher.
We haven't. Typically, that's a Valkyrie request, but we do occasionally have a need for one.
I could probably get my hands on one if I needed to. There are some like paramilitary and ex-paramilitary. Let's be honest, paramilitary in the Union.
Paranormal military.
I could also able to get those.
I could also acquire
AP 40 cals.
Yes, I'll put a box of bullets on the thing.
Sweet.
I could also acquire a modified T-shirt launcher.
Cool.
I like the way you think.
It's very surprising when they're expecting a T-shirt. It's actually a grenade.
Mm.
Do I need to make more Molotovs?
I was gonna say, yeah, a T-shirt soaked in kerosene or in holy water.
Also that.
Because then they just catch it instead of trying to dodge it, and
Splish.
So we're going with the Mongol technique of just you have a cup full of wine that is actually oil that you just splash on them and throw a match.
I just Mara, if you need it, I just posted the Colt stats, just a screenshot of it from my page to yours in Slack.
Oh, okay.
Well then.
Hopefully you won't need it super quickly, but it's there if you do.
Thanks.
So we are agreed on our approach and on our retaliation, should that be required.
Yep.
Now the question is, do we want to be in there before they open or during operational hours?
Before would be preferable.
It would be easier for Astrid and I to blend into the background if there are other people there, but not impossible for us to do so if there aren't.
I mean, it's very doable if you're there. You just go up and strike up a conversation with the bartender. The bartender is going to be bartender of any club is going to be so used to people being in there beforehand that they have no idea who they are. They will just start talking to you like your wait staff.
Not wrong.
So
Having had to go into a bar before it was closed before, yes.
yeah. Like
Before it was
that
open.
that's 100% normal for people to be wandering around and they're like, oh, okay. So yeah, I would prefer that because there will be less potential agents of hell in there.
The other thing you know is that
excluded.
The other thing you know about Sentis is that it has some private rooms and you don't know what's in them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a consideration.
Well then, let me arrange some suitcases for anything Astrid and I might need that will be a little bit larger than we can conceal.
Okay.
And we should be able to get started. So yeah, I'm gonna
It might raise some alarms slightly if you guys walk in with like 2 suitcases apiece or something like that, because then you just scream hitman.
I think 1 apiece is more than enough.
You still scream hitman, but you can I trust you guys.
It's a quieter scream.
Yeah,
I trust you guys to be subtle about it instead of like walking in your trench coats and well. As I look at you in your sunglasses, never mind. Ignore everything I just said.
I produce an aluminum cased travel suitcase that has stickers on it, all from like various different like country stickers on it, which I slide over towards Astrid. I feel this is probably more your style and looks less suspicious.
She'll take.
And you can
you carry that. It looks like you stole it off the American tourist that you killed in a hostel.
I will have this one. I say, producing what is basically like an executive briefcase.
It's better than the time we had to be golfers.
This is true.
You should be able to.
Did that get stolen off an American who was killed in a hostel? I don't care. I'm just curious.
No.
Okay.
It was a Belgian.
Zero offers no elaboration. He just says no.
Nico comes up from Nico comes up from the hideout with a Adidas, basically small scale duffel bag that is rattling very suspiciously, and just throws his SMG on top with a couple of loaded magazines, and then zips it back up.
So yeah,
all right, I'm prepped.
I put my quiver and my actually I can hide my quiver under my coat. I put my can I hide my quiver under my coat?
It's a longbow, not a crossbow.
It's a compound bow, but no. So yeah, I'll put the quiver and my
then you can't.
I'll put the quiver and my compound bow in my suitcase.
Like you might be able to collapse the compound bow enough if it's sufficiently high tech, but the arrows not so much.
Yeah. That'll all go in my suitcase. I will load up because I won't be able to have my full range of arrows in the suitcase, definitely. So I will specifically load up silver tipped arrows.
All right.
Oh, and Astrid, that reminds me. You want to pick a day when we've got some downtime and go out and work on your short game?
I'm good.
He just smiles.
I will pull out a pair of silver throwing knives and hold them out towards Astrid.
She'll take them.
And-
I prefer my axes, but these could come in handy.
So, from our experiences in recovery, silver tends to be better while the demons are still in possession of their bodies.
Makes sense. She'll pocket them.
And I will have my regular Bowie knife, silver broadhead arrows, and 2 silver throwing knives, and then my compound bow in the briefcase.
It's theorized by your priest that silver works so well on demons because it's a metal that's associated with purity, which is a load of bullshit from a chemical standpoint, but
I don't question the priest. He has his expertise. I have mine. Mine is applying weapons to bodies. His is telling me why it works. Do you have anything specific you want to put in your suitcase, Astrid, or
Axes.
just the axes?
In.
Yeah.
Yeah. She will hold up her arm with the gun tattoo on it. I'm covered.
Right. I forget about your fancy tattoos.
They come in handy.
Indeed, they would. He sort of holds up his hand and just sort of flexes, and you see the tips of his of the gloves of his finger point out slightly and then recede. Well then, shall we go?
Do it.
Let's set out.
the group of
We're
you make your
taking-
way.
We're taking one ride or multiple?
We should
Definitely multiple.
one per group.
Very good.
That way we can arrive separately.
Colleen, would you like to embark
Yeah,
upon
do the
this?
honors.
I thought you were about to ask me if I wanted to drive, and I was like,
Yeah,
hmm.
that's what he's asking.
Yeah.
God,
I haven't remotely been taught yet.
Yazid
Oh.
Hasn't she
literally has
also been
never driven in
Oh.
her life. And you want her to drive with a bunch of weapons inside so when the cops pull you over?
We don't have any weapons. Well, we've got a sword, but
Yeah, there's a sword.
um,
Oh.
I honestly I thought she had driven some last season.
She
No,
may
I'm
have.
pretty sure
She's
she did.
not had any training with it.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
why I
all
bought
right,
her
well, then-
driving
all right,
lessons
then
too.
never mind. He wouldn't suggest that. He'll suggest that later.
Like she has openly said in this same conversation that if push comes to shove, she can probably use magic to know how to drive, at least temporarily.
Yeah,
But
that's fine.
why do that when someone else can drive?
That's what you're
Right.
there for, Paul.
Right then, let's Thomas, if you don't mind, I figure with your sword there, you might be more comfortable in the back seat. Colleen, if you want to ride up front, I can walk you through some of the mechanics as we're driving.
All right.
I look over at Astrid. My car or yours?
I have a bike.
My car it is.
Does she
And then-
does Colleen have a bag that she's taking, or like a purse or a bag or anything?
Yeah, probably.
Can I roll to slip a present into it?
The one-eyed king. Yeah, go ahead.
No, like an actual present.
Oh, okay.
It's a gift
Roll
wrap.
dexterity
Nico.
and larceny.
The gift wrapped one-eyed king.
Nico looks over at Nina. Do you want to ride shotgun or?
I'm good either way. I can drive or you can drive.
I'm thinking if things go sideways, I'd like to be riding in something that has metal on all sides.
Oh no, I have I drove here with a car.
Oh,
I brought Thomas.
right.
Thomas can't come here. Can't come here on a bike because sword.
Big fuck off sword.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, the
jump-
cops tend to look at you weird when
I'll
you're,
jump in
when
with
you're
you
driving
then.
along and you have a giant sword on the back of your motorcycle.
Depends
Just,
on the car.
just tell him you're going to Dragon Con. It's fine.
Are you going in clean, or do we need something to start off?
Who is that directed at?
I'm going clean.
Towards Nina.
I'm going to go clean.
Okay.
Being as clear-headed as possible is going to be good in this situation.
No, fair.
But you do you.
I took a triple V this morning, and that's kind of wearing off now. So I think I'm coming down, and we're probably fine.
Okay.
I just assume that you know all of these drug terms, Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, hydrocodone, Valium, and vodka. Triple V, man.
What? Where's the V in hydrocodone?
The slang for that, because it's Vicodin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That makes more
Vicodin,
sense.
Valium, vodka. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Triple V, also known as the House MD.
Yep.
So you make your way out. Nico and Nina head straight there.
Yep.
Zero and Astrid take a slightly longer route. And Paul, Thomas, and I still need to get a logo for Thomas into the Roll20. at some
Paul,
point.
Thomas, and Colleen.
And Colleen take a slight detour to get a Q bag for Thomas's
Yeah.
sword,
Yep.
and then head there.
hmm
Sporting goods store.
I do have to go in to buy it, and I will leave the sword behind.
You could always just send Paul in to buy it.
You can.
Oh yeah.
I will remind you about some properties of your sword that mean you can be pretty confident that you can leave it wherever you want.
Yeah, I know. So I'll leave it behind, and I can go in and get it. So the sword is.
You're
left alone with
muted.
Paul
You're muted,
there.
Craig.
Paul reaches for his wallet. Have you got enough to cover it?
Yeah, I think so. I have resources of one. I assume that's fine to get a.
It's enough to get a Q bag. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Then as he's getting out, Paul turns to Colleen and says, "Oh, you might want to check your purse."
She will look inside and see what's inside.
There is a nicely wrapped, very obviously a book or several books.
She will open it up and see what the books are.
It is the complete series of the Anna Green Gables books by Lucy Maud Montgomery.
She looks at these. These are going to be completely done by the time that you get back.
Paul smiles and nods and says, and reaches into a pocket. No, I guess he wouldn't have it with him, but he says, "I'm also going to get you an e-reader so you can move on to other things. But I thought, something physical that you could actually hold that's not a gun or some sort of magical artifact. Just
Or a bottle of vodka.
right, just something to read
Great gift.
about the real world, not about any of this that's going on."
I mean, I hate to break it to you, but this is the real world.
Well, you know what I mean.
We spoil this child.
No, we make sure that this child is ready to deal with the world that she is thrust into.
We also spoil this child.
Paul,
Eh.
Paul is
She's
also
had
trying.
a rough life.
Paul is also trying to make sure that she is ready for a life that hopefully isn't this one when this is all over.
Like, we get her books and games and guns and drinks and cars and fake IDs.
Yeah, I was taught to read by the Akashics, and let me tell you, you gain information very quickly.
She just
he-
absorbs the books.
You turn around, she's half.
He nods and says, "Right, but I guess I'm gonna bet you don't know this much about Nova Scotia." And he reaches over and taps the books.
I will in about 10 minutes.
I know you will. But
And-
sometimes it's like, you know, if you're hungry, I know you can work your way through a meal as fast as possible, but sometimes it's also all right to take your time.
Do you leave the car, or do you just let because I will remind you that you are now in a car with that Thomas is not, but Thomas's sword is in.
What? I had forgotten that.
Yeah. The sword's just in the back seat.
I know.
Flying across
What?
the back.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Now that you mentioned that, I
welcome.
guess Paul isn't getting out of the car. Paul's
Yeah.
definitely not getting out of the car.
I am super excited for him touching the sword and then being teleported away from it.
I'm super excited for him to touch the sword, then realize, what's this pokey feeling in my chest? Oh God!
No, he's not touching the sword. But if Colleen does start reading the books and sort of gets pulled in, he will take out his phone and try to take some pictures of it.
All right. You do that. While you're taking those pictures, you look over and you see that Colleen just has one of the first book in her lap, and the pages are just flipping rapidly as she magic speed reads.
You are gonna
That ability
absolutely
about the age of 15.
you're gonna have a blast at university when we're all done with this. If you want to go that way.
She smirks a little bit. So you take some pictures of the sword. Do you do anything physically with it, or do you just take pictures of it and leave it there?
Nope. Take pictures of it and leave it there.
Paul is very
All right.
cautious.
Except for
Thomas.
if Colleen was not in the car, maybe. Okay, if Colleen was not in the car, definitely. But if Colleen is
fair.
sitting right there, Paul's not going to be like, "So, what's going on?" Like,
I mean, she's got 3 books to get through.
I know.
She
but
at least seems wrapped up in
Oh
those.
my God. I still feel like she'll notice if I just crawl into the back seat.
Fair point.
You just gotta reach back.
It's like, yeah, it's like he's like doing one of these like, except instead of making a move on a date, he's like reaching for the sword.
Come on, Paul. Touch the sword. Just touch it.
I lay the bait
Just
out.
touch it.
And no
You
one
know
wants
you
to
want to
take it.
touch it. Because
I'll
you
just keep
told,
laying
because
it
you
out
said
at
it was
various points.
bait.
Yeah, that's
He got just a little stabbed by a fang dagger last year, so
just a little stabbed.
just a little stab.
All right.
Okay, that's fair. So
All right,
Yeah.
ready.
Thomas returns after a little bit. It doesn't take long.
I should have got Thomas a Thompson.
I don't know what that is.
It's a Tommy,
Tommy
gun.
gun.
Okay.
But yeah, so Thomas returns, gets back in the car. Vicar very casually slings the sword, just like picks it up and slings it into the bag.
All right, ready. That should work.
Just sending a text and finishes sending the pictures to Maxwell, and then off we go.
Now to the investigation phase.
Indeed. So, in varying stages, the 3 groups arrive at the exterior of DJ Sentis. Right off of Highway 78, right in the middle of nowhere.
Once we get there, stop, look over. So how armed are you currently?
About 30K worth plus an SMG.
Okay. And
Street value is about twice that, but that's what, you know.
okay. And she's saying this as she is pulling her guns out, reaching across, opening up the glove compartment and putting hers inside. I'm going in completely unstrapped. I'm not telling them this because they will get worried at the last sign of anything. They'll go in.
Yeah, no, like I mean, it'll take
You're right
me a
there.
minute to get
Yeah.
to mine because there's like a zipper and shit. But yeah,
You're
that's
right
fair.
there. You need to know if things go bad.
Right. Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, and he digs in one of the side packets and pulls out his dose of red resin and just mainlines that. William, can I spend willpower to activate one of my elixirs or no? Is it just the straight roll?
I will say you can spend willpower on an elixir activation roll, yeah.
Oh, okay. Then he's gonna do that because he's hoping for that critical success. Boom! There we go.
Nice.
All right.
You have
so
7 successes
I
on your
can
red resin.
Yep, I can see all the monsters within sight. They're outlined by a tinge of red light that only I can see, so it's basically Overwatch enemy team vision. Since I got an exceptional success, I can tell what kind of monster they are as well.
Yep. It is within your sight range, though, so anything through a wall you cannot see.
Right. Anything through a wall I won't be able to see. And if their morality or whatever their version of morality is above 8, it won't pick them up either.
Mm-hmm. If they're as close to human as they can be.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Also, we're not there yet, but just so you're aware of what I can see and sense, William, I've got unseen sense for spirits, which means I can sense when I got 1 dot in it, which means that I can sense verges and loci, as well as the emotional weight of the area around me. I can make an extended wits and composure roll to be able to feel what sort of resonance the area has. And I can sort of sense I can passively sense the presence of ghosts and see them. And I've got my optic thorn, which tells me if there are any supernaturally augmented humans around me. So not monsters, but humans. As well as if anybody has any active relics or elixirs or thauma technology or anything like that on them.
I will probably miss some of that, so just be aware of what you can see and remind me if it seems relevant.
Yeah, I will ask again. I'm just letting you know in case any of that pops up immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously we're going in there looking for the information. I would, in a perfect situation, I want to come out of that with a new friend.
Oh yeah.
Nearest is obviously, this doesn't mean anything. Could be an absolute. Could be the most prolific serial killer in this area since time began. Demon, but I feel like, assuming that she actually is what we believe she is, she probably wouldn't be able to operate without being fairly on the level and as prominent of a position as she is. And if we can have some insight, we have no insight into demons right now. And the demon community, quote unquote, if there is one. So ideally, that's what I'd like. So I'm probably going to be taking a more, let's say, non-aggressive route.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Make sense?
Yeah, I would say probably the whole 79 to 81. If you think the Atlanta Child Killers
Right.
was
No,
all
yeah,
one
that's what I was.
person,
That's
but-
what I was figuring. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But yeah, no, all of that tracks. I'm on board with all that.
Okay. Cool. Just so we're not working at cross
And-
purposes, and I go and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Hey, how you doing?" And you're like,
And
slap
then you're
head
like,
into the desk.
Right.
Tell us where the hell is.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
I'm
I'm gonna let you do most of the talking, and I'm gonna do most of the watching, unless she really seems like she needs something to get her juices rolling. In which case, I have substances.
Wait. All right. Well, let's wait. till
But
our-
that will be applied at her own consent. This
Right.
I don't have anything in there that I can,
drugs forcibly drug someone with.
Right. That's
Yeah.
that's a bad way to get return customers.
I wonder if demons can be drugged even.
Mm.
It's a day for learning.
Let's see what happens.
Let's go. Yeah, let's give this a go.
Okay. And Nico will follow Nina in.
Yep.
Or up to the door at least, wherever we get stopped or
Yep. So you make your way in. It's quiet on at the moment. There's mostly just staff milling about, getting everything set up for tonight. And almost immediately upon you entering, a relatively burly-looking individual, tall, dark-skinned, relatively broad, approaches you, and just, excuse me, do you have tickets for tonight? This is tonight's session is private members only.
Do I know this particular bouncer person?
Local bouncer, you don't see him all that often on nights that aren't Tuesday, and you've never performed on a Tuesday because, as he mentioned, Tuesday is
Right.
usually private, and that's always DJ Senti's
Do I
night.
know his name at least?
No, you've never gotten his name.
Okay. I know this was the perfect time for me to take a bite of something while I was about to start talking.
Yeah.
I'm good that way.
I mean, Nico can jump in right away if you want, but I feel like that's a terrible idea.
Hey,
You've seen him around, you just never gotten his name.
right. So here's the thing. No, I don't. I'm not. Rex, I'm not here for, I know you guys have your a private night thing. I'm just here beforehand. I thought I'd catch up with some people.
He's kind of
Hi,
looks
I'm
at
Nina. Skyfall.
Right. Mike, he says, taking your hand and shaking it.
Mike, nice to meet you. Yeah, no, I just thought, I've been really busy. I haven't had a chance to stop by here. I figure, it's before anything's open, where you will be completely out of your hair by the time the customers show up. This is Nico.
Waves. Is he registering as more or less normal?
Yeah, he seems pretty normal to you.
Okay.
This is my my pharmacist.
The man at the bar does not.
Okay. What does he register as?
Definitely some form of demon.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, we just thought we'd stop by, catch up with some people. And then I start walking.
She sticks a hand out. Who are you looking to speak with in particular?
You're large and good at blocking things.
He looks like to go to an animated movie. He looks like the secret the CIA agent from Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
Yes.
You are you are definitely a defensive lineman somewhere or former. Just the people, the name, I throw out the name of the owner of the establishment,
Okay.
which you said
Cynthia
twice
Lomax.
tonight that I cannot
Right.
remember.
Cynthia Lomax.
Yes.
Cynthia Lomax.
Cynthia, yeah. Cynthia, I'll throw out like the probably person in charge of the kitchen.
All right.
Several other names like that.
I'll go take it up to the boss. And if she says you're good, then you're good. I'll be
Sweet.
right back. and he will step up the stairs. I'm going to want you to make me... You can't spend willpower on this because this is just a matter of how well she remembers you. Roll me a presence and expression with your fame dots.
I mean, if I fail this fucking roll, I swear to God.
Good.
4 successes.
So a few minutes goes by and he returns back downstairs and, all right, you're good to go up.
Awesome. Sort of just bump him on the shoulder. Friendly bump.
Gives you a nod.
You look like $1 million, Mike. Mm.
As we head up, well, that's going to make it interesting for Astrid and Zare to get inside.
Nico sticks his phone back in his pocket, having already texted them, invite only.
That's okay. I've got a plan.
And then kind of nudges Nina slightly. Fellow at the bar is from parts south, as it were.
Someone I'm familiar with?
You've seen the bartender several times. He's there all the time.
Okay. It's not just like the Tuesday bartender.
No, yeah, he's there all the time. Little freaky, makes some really good mixes though.
Nico will have texted that to the group chat as well. Bartender equals devil emoji.
If we can't get a face to face with our DJ, it's another option.
Yeah, decent backup.
Someone who's available on non.
So you head up to the manager's office.
Yep.
And again, to reiterate for those of you who don't remember, because it's been well over a year since you last met this individual, Cynthia Lomax is dressed like an emaciated David Bowie. She is dressed in a very well-appointed, like, white suit with red and purple accents that is well tailored and well put together, and her hair is an excellent undercut that just kind of sweeps to one side. She looks like she needs a sandwich in the worst way.
Like David Bowie at any point in his career.
Kind of, yeah.
I mean...
But
hey, Cynthia, what's up?
Nina, how can I help you? I heard you came by. I wanted to catch up.
It's been a while. I just thought I had a free day. You know Nico, right?
You've made a few deals around here, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, just
pretty sure my dues are up to date, but let me know.
I'll keep an eye out.
Never come by before on a Tuesday. I didn't realize it was quite as even before
Exclusive.
you get started.
Oh no, Tuesday is Senti's night. She club members only.
Yeah, I know that she is shall we say reclusive a bit, but that's above and beyond. Anyway, have you been? Is she here? I don't want to step on any toes or anything.
No, she's in the booth getting set up right now.
Okay. So how have things been?
They've been, and you can tell this woman seems tired constantly. She's always seemed tired. Since you've known her, she's always seemed tired.
Registers as human though.
Yes.
Okay.
She manages a nightclub that caters to multiple different supernatural types. Of course she's tired.
But she's like, it's been busy and we've been having a lot of traffic lately, but business has been good.
No major incidents as of late, like.
Well, there was that situation a few months ago, and I'm glad that you and your friends were there to stop that poor shambler from walking in.
Mm-hmm.
Let's cut to the chase. We know why you're here. You want to talk to
Yeah.
us about something important.
So here's the thing. It's not you necessarily that I want to talk to. I was hoping you could get me an introduction to our guest of honor tonight. Nothing hostile, nothing even remotely bad. I'd just like to talk a little potential business. This is the only time I can talk to her. Or I can
manipulation and persuasion.
Okay.
While that's happening,
I will spend willpower on this.
Go for it.
Can Nico try a diagnosis on, does this woman suffer from an eating disorder? Is this woman have cancer? Is she on drugs? Like, if he can try and diagnose the severe emaciation on this individual.
Roll me wits and medicine.
Wits and medicine. Perfect.
Okay, I'll take that.
All right. See what.
One success.
She seems like she's wasting away. Like there's no specific cause.
Right.
She just seems like she's being shriveled up by something.
Okay.
It's clearly whatever is going on in her life is taking a massive toll on her. Okay. She seems to be ignoring it for the most part, but the physical ramifications are evident.
Mm-hmm.
If it helps any, what I'm hoping to talk business about is something that would be for the benefit of everybody.
And by everybody, you mean
literally
everybody.
Every person making movement, breathing or not.
Interesting.
Can confirm.
All right. I'll let Senti know you're on your way.
Thank you. You are the best.
Go ahead and head up to the booth.
All right.
So,
yep.
Two of you head out.
Yep.
And make your way to the booth. Before we get to that scene, Zero.
So,
get that text.
Having received those texts, Astrid, have you ever played the role of a bodyguard? I say as I turn, really like the tires squeal, and I start driving in a different direction.
I haven't, but I can easily.
Open the glove box.
She'll open it up.
Third file down. You open up and there's just a stack of like manila envelopes.
It goes to the third file down.
You pull it out, close it. If you open it up, inside there is a dossier on someone who looks very much like Zero, but has like messed up black hair and blue eyes, about a man named John Carver, who is a sort of like a billionaire playboy, like socialite kind of person. And just like a list of like things he's been arrested for and various other things. You don't need to memorize all of it, but some of it.
She will start coming through it.
I pull up to wherever an ATM that I can access my funds from is. Get out of the car, leave it running. Take my suitcase and hers. Get back. I go to the back of the car, open it up, dump my bow out into the trunk. Change the hand axes over to my suitcases and all the stuff Asher was carrying over to my suitcase. Close it. Take the travel suitcase, go up to the ATM, withdraw the maximum amount of cash I can get out of that ATM.
$100,000, we'll say.
Stuff it in the suitcase, close it. Go back to the trunk of the car.
I just spat a number out, Jeremy. Don't look wild at me.
Gonna say that's quite the number. It's normally like 400.
Right.
It's the world of darkness.
I just assume that Zero somehow hacked the ATM to spit out all the money.
I have a special.
It's a Chiron group
Yeah.
card. He probably does.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Go back to
It's
the.
like,
I go back to the trunk, set those things down, take off my coat, put it in there, take off my Bowie knife, put it in the suitcase with Astrid's hand axes. Close that. Take off my sunglasses, put it down. I'm with the trunk obscuring the vision of me from Astrid. Pull out a set of contact lens cases and put in a pair of blue-eyed contact lenses that make my eyes look ever so slightly more dilated than normal, but still cover they cover what my eyes look like normally. Get some gel, use it, and mess up my hair, roll up my sleeves, unbutton the top button, then put everything in the trunk, grab the briefcases, close it, come back around and sit down. And Zero is now without his sunglasses. Again, he looks like he's 21 when you're looking at him, especially without the sunglasses. No longer with a suit and tie. His shirt is unbuttoned and sort of hanging loose. He opens up the center console where there's just a bottle of whiskey that he pulls out, opens up, and begins chugging. Not enough to get drunk, but enough to get buzzed and for it to smell like I'm drunk. I also splash a little bit on my clothes a bit. Hand it over to her. Hand her the briefcases. Hi, my name is John Carver. Nice to meet you.
What does Astrid see from thumbing through this file?
So yeah, it's basically it looks like it's almost like a police dossier about this billionaire playboy, not philanthropist. But definitely like a socialite who was born into way too much money and just doesn't know what to do with it. Drives a supercar that is very much the car you're in right now. Spends most of his time partying and drinking and having sex. Doesn't really have a job, but has a personal assigned bodyguard, which you are determining is now you. And basically, he comes from oil money. He comes from Texas oil money. And spends most of his time drunk, high, or in a lockup of some kind.
Okay.
And I am going...
He's Tony Stark if Tony Stark never did anything with his life.
Kind of, yeah.
So the first 10 minutes of Iron Man.
Yeah. And the first 10 minutes of Iron Man 2 minus the suit.
And let's be honest, the first 10 minutes of Iron Man 3. Tony does reset after every Iron
It's
Man.
It's true.
With advancement that is shown later, but...
And I am going to do my best to make it look, as we approach the bar, to make it look like I am that rich asshole who doesn't give a fuck as he parks right at the front door.
Just your hood is over the curb.
Yeah.
And
Blocking
partway into
people
a
from
second
walking
spot.
down. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I also take the gloves off, so. And I just look I look like a disheveled, drunk, rich asshole right now. Oh, and I also pull out a business card and hand it over to Astrid, and it just says John Carver and the Carver Foundation, and it has a number, which definitely goes back to a Chiron group specific, like phone number specifically designed to answer for John Carver.
She'll put it in the pocket of her jacket.
So, if it's a private shindig, I say as I grab the whiskey and drink it while driving, then I'm just going to be the one thing that gets into every private party, money.
Should work.
Money and alcohol, which makes the money go away.
We were informed that the bouncer was human?
Yes.
Okay.
Bouncer's human, bartender's a demon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is why it'll be easier to get past the bouncer.
Yeah. No, she'll say, yeah, that should work easier with the bouncer.
I haven't had to be this guy. He's already adopted the slightly drunk posturing and everything. I haven't had to be this guy in 15 years now.
So how many different personalities are in here?
A lot.
Okay.
You pull up. And
Get out,
Yeah.
stumble out of the car, grab the briefcase that has the money in it, indicating thus Astrid should grab the briefcase that has the weapons in it.
Yes.
And I stumble, and I just sort of straighten myself up. Good drive, good drive. And I walk towards the door with all the confidence of a rich white guy.
Yep.
Astrid stone face behind him.
You make your way in. Immediately, again, the same bouncer. Hold up.
What's up,
You
my
have an
dude?
Invitation for tonight.
Invitation? No.
Private club. Invite only.
How do I get an invite?
If you don't know,
Does
you
this
don't.
work? As I click open the suitcase and just pull out a stack of bills and slam and sort of like push it against his chest. Does this work for an invite?
He looks down at the stack of bills.
And I am trying to come across as rich, drunk, high asshole that can be taken for all of his money.
Yeah. Roll manipulation and subterfuge.
Do I get any bonuses for the prep work that I've to put into this?
+3, we'll say.
All right. Manipulation what?
Subterfuge.
All right, and I'm going to spend a willpower.
As he gives him the bag, Astrid will grab the card out of her pocket and hand it to him.
2 successes.
All right. So he looks down at the money, and the thing that is a weird reaction to you is that instead of reacting to that directly, he looks over his shoulder at the bartender. And the bartender kind of looks at the group of you for a minute and looks at the bouncer and nods. And he just looks back and takes the money. All right, find a seat.
Thank you very much. Close the briefcase and just saunter in. And I'm heading straight for the bar to get a drink.
Right behind
And
him.
that does immediately take you as a weird response for the bouncer to look to the bartender when you just shoved a pile of money in his face.
I'm assuming that the bouncer is controlled by the bartender somehow at this point. But that's because I know the bartender's a demon. But that's fine. This is information gathering.
So, while you're doing that, the third group to arrive before we get back to Licentia. So Paul and Thomas and Colleen are the last ones to show up after having gathered everything.
Yeah.
As you pull up to the parking lot where the club is at.
Okay. We see the other cars.
Yeah.
And to clarify, because Nico told Zero and Astrid that it was invite only, did we get that as well or not?
All of those went to the group text, yes.
Okay. Cool. I don't know if your thing is it demons, devil. Are those different? For your magic compass.
Do I know if there's a difference between demons and devils?
No, they're the same thing as far as the world of darkness is concerned.
Okay. All right. No, same thing as far as I'm concerned. If it's a person and it's got a taint of the infernal about it, he taps his pocket. They sort of track it down. Now, it is a bit finicky. I'm hoping the two of you can keep an eye on things, make sure we're not walking into the either proverbial or literal jaws of danger while I'm wandering around keeping my eyes on this.
Sure. I'm just saying the text. It's if there's one up at the bar, you may have a problem with the plan.
Well, where is the bar in? Because I've been inside. Where is the bar in relation to the building?
So from the front of the building, you head in, and the bar is immediately on your left. There's this big open floor space, and on the left side there's like a giant TV and place for like people to sit and watch the game or whatever news or whatever they've got playing on it. And then there's a massive open floor space for dancing. And then immediately on the left-hand wall, right past that TV area, is a bit of an alcove that leads to the kitchen and the bar.
Okay. So to the best
and
of
then past that is stairs up into offices and rooms.
Okay. So to the best of his ability, he's going to point at the direction of the bar. And he says, Well, so the one that's been identified should be there. So if I move around the outside of the building and there's another one inside, it should change its direction sudden enough to be able to tell.
Okay. All right.
So, like I said, we're going to be doing a little bit of wandering, and it's more of an art than a science anyway. So, just bear with me.
Sure. Sure. Do you want us to stay close to you, or?
Yes. The last time, well, not the last time, but the first time we were here, we ran into a rather angry corpse in that alley over there, and I'll point to where we fought the zombie.
Oh. Okay.
So, yeah, if you don't mind,
Sure.
keep your old pal safe, and I will pull out the look around, make sure nobody's looking. I didn't specifically say earlier, but Paul is wearing the contact / prosthesis that covers the skeptic's curse in his eye. It makes it look somewhat like a normal eye, or at least like a normal glass eye.
Yeah.
If anybody gets a real close look at it, it's never going to look perfectly normal, but at least it just looks like a glass eye.
It looks like a normal glass eye. Yeah.
Two of us wearing contacts on this mission.
It's a double contactor. So, is anybody out here? At least
it's pretty quiet on the outside right now.
Okay.
Do you want to take a loop of the building?
I think I will, but I will go ahead and get the Heart of the Succubus out and start using it as we walk around.
All right. So
and I will rely on Colleen and Thomas to make sure we're not being followed by anything terrifying.
Go ahead and make that roll.
Okay. May I use a willpower on it?
Yes.
Okay.
And Mara, you're asking?
Yeah. Can I have the, I don't know, how conspicuous would be, but just hand on the gun just in case? Because
it's not super quiet, but yes, you can have your hand there. It's not super inconspicuous, but
okay. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm fine with that. And then I have danger sense, just FYI. I can make reflexive missing closure rolls for ambushes if it happens.
One success on an awful lot of dice.
All right, one's all you needed.
Okay.
So, as you walk, you keep the thing out in front of you, and you can see it's indicating itself in the direction of where you would assume the bar is. So you can assume that's the bartender it's picking up. And you walk around the back of the building, and after a little bit, the needle. I'll say needle in air quotes here because it's not obviously not that simple, but
I mean, it does. The description does say needle.
Yeah.
So
the needle shifts to something else.
Oh, we go a second 8.
And you keep walking.
Oh, okay.
And it shifts to something else.
Distinct from the first.
Yeah. And you keep walking.
And the third.
And it shifts to something else. And it keeps going, and you count no less than a dozen different targets inside this building.
All right. So he I think for about the first 4, he will keep mentioning, and then we'll stop after that. And then after we've done a full circuit, he looks up at Colleen and Thomas and says, well, at least as far as the ones that are closest to the outside of the building, we've got about a dozen of them in there.
All right. From my keeping an eye on stuff as we were going around, Thomas would probably be looking specifically for any sort of like service entrance, employees entrance, that type of thing, and if there's anyone kind of like on those doors, possibly.
There does appear to be a back door for service entrance. It does appear to be locked.
Okay. All right. Well, I can get us in pretty fast. Well, going through the front door would be kind of slow because you have to talk to people. But there was a locked door back there. Are you good with locks at all, or is that not?
There is a thin-lipped smile as Paul sort of turns and looks at Thomas and says, "I've been known to allow myself access into places I was not particularly welcome. Yes.
Ah, okay.
How about
Cool.
let's stay out here until we need to get
Yeah.
in, though.
Oh,
Yep.
absolutely. Yeah, we're not even the backup. We're the backup's backup. So
Yeah.
at this point, let's just keep our eyes open. Let me let those inside know. And he pulls out his phone and we'll text. I think it just 12 and then the demon smiley face that had been previously texted. And then
Yeah, there's just a thumbs up
I pull mine
and
out
back.
as I'm walking towards the bar and just start narrating as I'm texting. Tell them to hold on to the AMC stock. Click and put it away.
You were waiting for that.
I didn't know
You
I
were
was getting
very
drunk.
specifically waiting for that.
I didn't know I was going to be getting drunk.
From the
Nico-
second,
Ni-
to be clear, from the second you decided you were going to be playing drunk, you've been waiting for that.
Which you all get that text back because he does actually
Yeah.
text it because
Nico's response is 12 monkey emoji question because he's just fucking around now.
Yeah,
Right.
You get a response back, different film, and then you get a response back that just says Gilliam and thumbs up.
So, with you guys then,
Yep.
as you make your way up to the booth, and sitting in the booth is a impressive woman. Completely like silky smooth skin with this almost blood red lipstick, with eyes that are a bright pink that you would normally associate with contacts for anyone else, and hair that is a shade of red that at once inspires, like her lipstick, blood, but at the same time a deeper, almost gore red. Her outfit is black with all forms of various goth satanic symbolism across it. And she has a very ornate set of black and red earphones sitting around her neck, and you can see the outline of a pair of cat's ears on the top of the headband as she is setting up a sound table.
I'm gonna need a minute. Okay, we're good.
Mhm.
Yep. Hello. We have not met yet.
Hi
Sadly,
there.
we haven't met until now.
Hi there, she says, and her voice is like silk as she speaks. And she looks up at the two of you from her desk, and I'm DJ Senti. Cynthia told me you'd be coming up.
Yes. I'm Nina. This is Nico.
Hi.
So,
Unsettlingly charmed to meet you.
she smiles a little too wide.
Wondering if we might have a moment of your time. Well, a lot more than a moment, but for now, a moment's gonna have to do. To talk a little bit of business.
All right. Cards on the table. I know who you are and what you do.
And I know who you are for the most part and what you do.
I'm assuming she reads Strong Demon.
Yes,
Okay.
definitively a demon. That red aura did not stop from the moment you walked in.
I'm not here to make any kind of threats. I'm not here for any form of hostility whatsoever. I'm here because there is something that is of mutual interest to you, to me, And to, well, frankly, to everything. Literally everything. That we have need of getting our hands on.
And so you want to come to me because you think I have the information that you need.
That is what we have been told. Yes.
All
That's
right.
what we have been led to believe, I guess I should say. We haven't been directly told it, but if anybody's going to know, it would be you. It's your folk, shall we say, are it's most associated with your folk.
I'll bite. What are you looking for?
The nail of
Helena. And there's a hiss as you say the name. It's just, and it's the first time you've seen that in the entire time. It's the first time you've seen that beautiful composure shatter for a second. And she takes a moment and collects herself.
Not a
All
fan.
right. No, definitely not.
What would you say if I were to tell you that our plan was to make sure that it blinked out of existence?
I'd say that you do a great favor and also create a massive power vacuum.
That sounds exciting. I like exciting. Keep that in mind for future reference.
Exciting's fun. That's a little dangerous, but fun.
But there is, I'm not going to go into all the details. Not all cards are on the table on my side. I'm sure not all of the cards will be on the table on yours. But there is, let's just call it an imminent threat to reality if that thing stays in existence for another year.
The Awakened did something stupid again?
Probably. I'm willing to bet you know where to find it.
I can get you on a lead.
That would be delightful.
And I can also tell you more about it. So you
That would
know what you're
also
looking
be
into.
delightful because our information on it is
Scant.
I was going to say there's holes in our Wikipedia entry.
And I'm telling you this so that you know how important it is and what any number of demons would do if they knew that you had it.
But we won't have it for long, if that helps. I know, that will just make them angry and want to kill us. I get it. It's how it works.
So the name Helena's nail, in the common parlance, refers to several nails, all of them from the same source. It's the name that those are the nails used for the crucifixion of Jesus Christ on the true cross. One of them isn't actually that nail. The one that gets called Helena's nail is associated with that event, but it's something much older. The artifact that you're looking for looks like a crucifixion nail. It's a long, splintered piece of wood.
Wait, it's wood or it's a piece is a metal spike?
It's a wooden spike.
Ooh.
At least it looks like wood. The problem with it is it does a lot more than any wooden stake would do.
Really?
When driven into the core of a demon, it provides true banishment. As in, gone forever.
Oh,
fair enough.
Yeah, I can see why you'd want that.
It's a weapon that is usually used by the powerful members of the circles to be used as a threat. It's hard to kill us, you may have noticed.
So what you're
permanently
saying
anyway.
is, if it goes away,
that threat goes away too.
Those who hold the power will be somewhat at the mercy of the many people that they're holding down within your community.
That's the gist of it.
I have never been more sexually excited by the destruction of an inanimate object in my life.
I like you.
and I've destroyed a pinata.
If you feel sexual excitement at the destruction of a pinata, seek counseling.
Yes, 100%.
Maybe you guys aren't just going to the right pinata parties.
I was gonna say,
That's-
or a supportive community.
That's entirely true. That's also possible. I would like to see the pinata that sexually arouses me.
No, don't search those words in Google. I don't know what you'll find, but I know it won't be good.
The thing is, even the threat that someone knows where to find the nail is so existentially terrifying to us that, quite frankly, it's enough to cow most beings. So even if a greater demon doesn't own the nail at that particular moment, just the idea that they could know where to get it is terrifying.
Right. I mean, it's not going to be in a situation where anybody can get it anymore.
Exactly.
So,
And that's going to cause a major upheaval in the organization of things.
you just know all the best words. So if we were to go,
And I'd like
looking
to
for
shake
this-
things up a bit.
Good.
There's some ladders I can climb.
If we're going to be doing some shaking, where would we start looking?
What would you identify as the single largest manifestation of corporate sin in Atlanta?
World of Coke.
You nailed it in one.
Fucking A. Also, that's hilarious.
The demon in charge of running things at the World of Coke, high up as he is in PepsiCo, is one of the ones who you might be able to wrangle out the actual location of the nail from. He won't be nearly as friendly as I am, being one of the people who actually has the location to use. He won't want you to get it.
Is this somebody, to be clear, who is of your persuasion? Or is this somebody who is more like us
Oh, he's
physically?
He's definitely not of this world. He's from my circles.
Okay. How many? Is it a very bad thing? Would it be a particularly bad thing if he went away?
I'd be happy.
How many other people would not be happy?
Power vacuums. You know what they do. He's called Mr. White, at least in the circles of people who know a little bit more of the occult, but not enough to know the real thing.
Okay.
Does he have a ring shaped like an octopus?
I mean, I was gonna say, does he have a companion who complains about being Mr. Pink? Mr. White, and what would, if we were to look up Mr. White in the phone book, what would we be looking for?
You know what? I'm not actually going to bother looking for names of people in PepsiCo to use.
Please don't use actual names.
Let's not murder Doc's real people.
No, definitely not. As hilarious as the idea is, no.
We had Final
Any
Show Films
similarity
not
with
support
any actual
the
employees
idea
of
of
Coca-Cola
murdering
or PepsiCo are entirely
PepsiCo
coincidental.
executives.
Any relations to persons living or dead is purely coincidental.
Any relation
Yep.
to persons living or undead is purely coincidental.
Or possessed.
Or
Oh,
both.
God.
Okay.
Lawrence Croft is the name you're looking for.
Lawrence Croft. You have a cousin named Lara.
Or a sister.
Twin sister. Lawrence and Lara, it does make sense.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that rich assholes would
I was
do.
gonna say that's the sort of thing that white bullshit rich people do.
That's the sort of thing that middle class white people do too.
I mean, yeah. You're not wrong.
All right. So
The
Mr.
twin.
White, aka
My parent
L. Croft.
my parents used the name William twice in naming their children, just once in Spanish. My older brother's name is Guillermo. My older brother's middle name is Guillermo, which is William in Spanish.
Yep.
Right.
Wait, yep. It is.
So,
Like one of my
Lawrence
favorite
Croft.
directors, Bill Del Toro.
yep.
I just killed a mosquito in January. It is the
Welcome to
actual
Southern
apocalypse.
Maryland, bitches.
Jeez.
Climate change.
Global warming.
You know what that mosquito was saying? Eat the rich.
Know what it's doing in this house then.
Well, a different definition of rich.
that
really.
was a
well,
glorious
well
setup.
played, sir.
So Lawrence Croft, aka Mr. White.
Do you know if Mr. White has a particular attaché?
Yeah.
Someone to contact him for? That's
That
something he likes to keep
or-
hidden.
Or you know, bodyguard rotation schedule.
That thing too.
I feel like that's
where
on.
he
That's on.
sleeps
I feel like
when
that's on
he's
us to discover.
unguarded.
He likes to keep his goings on secret from everybody else.
Mhm.
The paranoid type.
Definitely.
Lovely.
Also,
He's rich.
the-
Of course, he's a paranoid type.
Also, the obsessive compulsive type.
He's rich. Of course, he's.
What obsessions? What compulsions?
He's got a thing for the macabre. More than most of us.
What sort of macabre?
Like-
Are we talking about like
Like,
he-
linger around the site of a murder before it happens and then investigate the murder scene himself and just mess with things.
right?
So, like hunting humans for sport, kind of macabre.
No, he doesn't do the kill. Sorry, you weren't there.
I'm not there.
He doesn't do the kill himself. He just knows when the murder is going to happen, waits to be there, and then has fun with the site.
So
Just to
think
make it so
catnip,
the
but
murderer
blood
can
and
get
guts
away.
instead.
Delightful.
Whether he lets them get away or helps them get caught is all a matter of his whim. He just likes to play with the location.
That's not fucked up at all. So, I'm assuming if he's paranoid, I'm assuming we're probably not going to find much about him in terms of publicly available information. He doesn't have like a big public persona, anything like that.
No, not much. No one can really say what he does in the world of Coke, but everyone knows that he's high up.
He doesn't have an official title within the company, even.
I'm sure you could find one if you look deep enough in the records.
I mean, if we can find that, that's gonna give us somewhere to start. So that's
Yeah, we'll have to-
something.
He's
We'll have
in.
to call our mutual friend on that one.
Yeah.
Probably.
He's in
Um,
charge of the South Pacific branch of Coca-Cola, so he makes all the weird fun flavors that never come here.
No, he is the Patrick Bateman of Coke. He's in murders and executions.
That's my
Um,
division.
Is there anything else that might be valuable to us if we were trying to arrange on a meeting that we could potentially walk away from? As in a completely unexpected meeting on his part, because that's the only way, from the sounds of it, we're walking away from a meeting with him.
Find out where his next murder is going to be. Well,
Yeah,
I say
was gonna
his
say,
when he's next going to try and find a murder site.
Does he have a
Yeah.
yeah? All right, no, that gives us a start. Do you know which ones he has fucked with so far?
Well, the last one was a triple homicide, premeditated and quite obvious by the time he got there, and just made all of the footprints and fingerprints all that much more obvious, and the bloodstains on the man's hands couldn't wash off.
Okay, there's a start.
Do you know if he has a prevalence for
Pattern.
organized crime, perhaps?
He prefers crimes of passion.
Damn it. Okay.
Crimes of passion. Demographics.
People whose lives are about to be ruined.
Interesting. Well, that gives us something to start with.
The
Oh,
the struggling husband whose wife just jilted him, when he beats her to death with a golf trophy, he makes sure that that bloodstain will never come out,
Right.
mhm.
Or
or is never found.
or is never found, depending on how he feels.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And one last from me, if you don't mind. In the event that the nail is found and recovered, is this one of those things like don't touch it without gloves on, anything
Right.
like that that you know of?
I don't know what it does to mundanes. Quite frankly, it hasn't touched one in decades.
No, that's fair.
But it takes an amount of force, but you don't have to drive it in far, just into the chest of a demon, and it does its work on us.
Fair.
Can I get a read on this demon? What is her
Yeah.
prevalent interest? Like, obviously she's got investment in getting this thing destroyed, but I'm just trying to get like a kind of a general personality read on her general motives, desires, that sort of thing.
Give me wits and empathy. You're gonna be at a -3.
Okay. Does my motive specialty apply for that?
Yes.
Okay, so -2. I'll spend a willpower to make that a +1.
Wits, empathy. Yeah, I'll willpower it. as
One
well, 'cause
success.
This is important, so that would just make it even. Also 1.
This woman's facial expressions are artificial, but managed so expertly that you couldn't tell that she is making her face form into the expression she is looking for. So it's hard to read her. But what you can get, just the faintest hint out of her, is that she sees an opportunity in what you're looking to do.
Yep.
She's looking to take advantage of you causing whatever mayhem your actions are going to cause if you succeed.
Yep.
Mhm.
I'm on board.
Okay. Cool. Nico will just sort of look at Nina then in the sort of, well, I'm done kind of way.
Yeah, no, I think that's pretty good. The only thing I would like, and he proceeds to produce a card, hand it to her. Be honest, we haven't had any inroads to your people. You seem to be fairly on the level, fairly potentially someone that we could have mutual benefit with.
I'm just here to let people have fun.
And I'm just here to make sure there's still people to have fun. So my hope is that we can pass information that enables each other's goals onto each other. We tamp down the worst of your worst. We make sure that those who are the worst of our worst, shall we say, leave you alone.
I like that arrangement.
Awesome.
There are far worse demons than the like that take advantage of ecstasy and people enjoying themselves. I can tell you that
legit.
much.
100%.
Speaking of, anything for the road?
Ooh, you got toys.
It was the
You
best
said
toy.
ecstasy. I had to segue.
I'll take something interesting. You humans have such lovely inventions.
He'll give her a opioid stimulant grab bag.
She takes several of them at once. And you can tell they're not having the kind of probably lethal dose effect that it would have on a normal person,
Right.
but she's getting a kick out of it.
But she's enjoying herself.
Oh, it definitely killed the body she's riding, but, you know.
Thanks so much for your time.
It's been a pleasure. I'm sure we will be in touch. Hopefully in touch. Have a good one.
You too. You make your way up.
Yep.
You see a man that looks kind of like Zara with blue eyes and looking very fucked up at the bar,
And Astrid.
along with Astrid standing over his shoulder acting like a bodyguard.
Mhm.
So yeah, double take and then catch Astrid and be like, "Oh shit, that is him."
And I'm just throwing money at this bartender and drowning myself, basically.
And Astrid is not drinking.
I am once I see that they're leaving, I'm going to have a few more drinks and then pass out.
When
Didn't
it
Make
even-
our way out.
Didn't even make it to the show, the bartender says.
It happens a lot. Astrid will pick him up and throw him over her shoulder.
I'm sure.
He's heavier than he looks, Astrid. Significantly
Yes,
heavier.
Astrid's-
Stronger than she looks.
No,
Yeah, Astrid's very strong.
absolutely. But you would notice he is significantly heavier than he looks like he should be.
And she will carry you to the car.
Drooling over her
At least the
shoulder.
parking lot.
Oh, he doesn't give up the act until you shove him in the car.
Okay. I will shove him in the car. then. She'll
Drive-
kind of just toss you in the back.
Yeah, I'll sort of lay in the back, and just from the back, I'll just go, drive away before I stop.
Once we get into actually on our way out to once we're out of the building and pretty close to our car, Nina pulls out her phone and just texts, we're good, disembark.
All right. Paul will look to Thomas and Colleen. Well, everybody at least is out in one piece. You all ready to head back?
I guess so. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
William, I've got a question.
Mm-hmm.
The regenerative nodule is meant to heal injuries. What do you think it would do to hangover or to being drunk?
I wouldn't say it doesn't filter toxins. It doesn't let you recover from poison. I would say it would keep alcohol from doing any major organ damage to you.
Okay.
Like any internal damage to your body would probably be regenerated.
Cool.
But
Somebody somebody tries to beat you to death with a liquor bottle or drown you in alcohol, maybe.
I was just curious. I'm not activating it. I was just curious if it would passively give any benefits in that area.
A
not.
regenerating liver.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm not gonna be dying of cirrhosis anytime soon, probably.
Yay! So yeah, from the back seat, I am definitely too drunk to drive.
That's why I'm driving.
Yep.
Exactly. After it's like, okay, fine, gets out, go, grabs the motorcycle that she stashed nearby. It's like, you can
Yeah.
walk home then.
Need to drive a supercar. Why are you...
Nico's just on his phone the entire time.
So, I'm assuming the three of you probably reconvene back at the hideout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
Plan,
for
yeah,
me,
The
that's
three
right.
groups of you, I should say,
Yep.
rather
Yep.
than just the three
Yeah,
of
yeah,
you.
I was gonna say the three of you, like you mean the
Half of us just
who's
died.
missing?
Sure. Yeah, I maintain the even though I'm no longer pretending because I am drunk, I'm gonna maintain the John Carver look for now.
Mm-hmm.
everybody else is at the Waffle House, like, where the hell are they?
that would be very strange because if it's three, unless it's like you three, including the NPC.
Right.
Otherwise, it would be like half of every group, like the group split in half, all of them.
No,
How
that was
would one place
no,
look?
William had said you three head back. So I was assuming it was the group of three that headed back to the headquarters, and everybody else
Right.
is off.
We
Going
all
around.
we all head back to headquarters.
Yes, all of you head back. You meet up
Astrid will
there.
happily carry Zero back into the.
I
safe
will
house.
I will walk just unsteadily. Thank you
So
very
that went
much.
well. Good God.
What? He doesn't sound anything like himself right now.
No.
Hey,
It was so much
Who
fun.
are
should
you
have
and what?
seen him.
Who are you and why are you not like this all the time?
collapse into a seat. John Carver, billionaire, playboy, fuckboy. And
We need this. We need this zero more. Anyways,
this is a disguise, so don't get used to it.
Yeah, I already know like 75 other dudes like you. It's all good. I mean, probably not quite as rich, but the vibe is palpable. Nicely done.
hey,
I do
Astrid,
good
can your
work.
vampire brother like mind control him into always being like this? Because that would be great.
I'll ask.
Awesome.
It wouldn't work, unfortunately.
Oh, that does remind me / Astrid. She will send a text to Archer just saying, I'm free tonight. What time are we meeting up?
All right. He'll give you a time sometime after sundown.
Okay.
So
So,
Anyway,
what did we learn?
other than this one having apparently a very pleasant afternoon. What else went down?
so we managed to meet with our lovely DJ. Yes, she is a demon. She's a delightful little demon. And we have a lead on the nail, which can apparently permanently banish any demon.
Well, that is certainly something that would seem to have quite a few people here in town taking note.
Yes.
That'd be well. No, that they're a replenishing source of parts. No, I definitely want to keep them around. That's a pain.
I mean, it doesn't matter anyways because as soon as we're getting our hands on that thing, it's getting
Yeah.
chowed down on.
Well, eventually, absolutely.
As soon as we get our hands on that thing, otherwise we're going to be hunted by the most powerful demons out there.
They hate it that badly.
Did you get any word on who these other demons were?
We have a name. We know somebody who knows where the nail is.
Oh, well, that's handy.
What's the
We're
name?
gonna break into the world of Coke.
Why?
Because
Because
Lawrence
it's Coke.
Croft, aka Mr. White, is a very powerful demon who knows where the nail is.
No, I mean, why break in? Why not just have me arrange a meeting with him?
Are we 100% certain that this isn't some sort of viral marketing campaign by the Atlanta Board of
Yes.
Tourism?
I work.
Pretty sure.
I have people in the FDA. If you need me to talk to somebody who is in charge of the world of Coke, I can make that happen.
Senti made it sound more like that he's very high up, but probably not official. So any sort of legitimate
Yeah.
meeting you were going to try to set up would be routed to, the actual department that exists,
Well.
not this fucko.
Let me take a look. Rich people like to talk to rich people, so.
I mean, that's fair.
Here's the
Also,
other-
there's a chance we could bait him out. Nina?
Here's the other part of it. He's not gonna want to give it up.
Oh no.
This is not going to be a pleasant conversation like we just had. This is going to be shed time.
Oh, absolutely. Let me be clear. What I meant was I can look into arranging legitimate means of getting him somewhere where his guard is down, as opposed to us trying to break into the world of Coke, which is a hilarious idea, and I'm kind of on board with it, but probably has a few more issues than just getting him to come to us.
Oh yeah, I'm not planning on like getting into World of Coke. That's just the start, and we need to find out where he is outside of that facility. It doesn't sound like his guard is going to be down.
Once this goes away, and gesturing to himself, I will get some people. I'll get some executives looking into the matter and see if we can't come up with an attack plan.
Is it weird that he says executives in the same tone that most people say interns?
Yeah.
That's basically what they
I'm
are.
not even trying to unpack all of the red flags going off in my head right now about this plan.
One thing, I mean, obviously finding a way in is fine. And I know at times in the past, this group has had the approach of just kick the stuffing out of something until it tells us what we want to know. But
Good approach.
we've all got various resources. Does anyone have anything that will stop a demon in its tracks? Will bind it like the fetters could do, that sort of thing?
I'll have to look and see if there's anything we can brew up.
I can look into some exorcism information.
Very resistant to toxins. That's going to be a sure thing.
My background is in exorcising ghosts, not demons, but I can see if there's any overlap.
We
don't want to exercise this one.
No, but when you're exorcising a ghost, you have to trap it. So it's part of the you take steps A and B and you stop before C. If you want to trap him.
I'll ask around at back at the local office, see if they've got anything useful.
I mean,
Okay.
Does anybody have anything that can predict when a murder's going to happen?
That is our potential in. So
I point over towards the laptop that I used to contact Jeremy's other character.
Kayla.
Kayla.
I've got a person who's a whiz at monitoring things and can probably cook up a some sort of method for predicting that.
So here's the thing. He likes to predict or not predict. Predict. He likes to know when these things are going to happen. He likes showing up and he likes fucking with it. Whether it's whether it's getting the person off, whether it's making sure the person gets caught, whatever the case is, he's just playing demon. I mean, and we know his favored demographic,
Which is
people whose lives are about to be ruined.
Any particular kind of crime
That
he
should
likes?
give us the algorithms we need, hopefully. Huh?
Any particular kind of crime he likes?
Passion.
Crimes of passion.
So no premeditated stuff. in the moment.
Yeah, no, I was thinking I could hit up, the Russian mob and see who's due for a whack, but that apparently isn't going to fly.
I mean,
I
there's
was gonna say if you need a murder,
Yeah.
make stuff
you don't
happen,
need
but-
premeditated if the signs are there.
Yeah.
All right.
She was with Network Zero, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Network Zero might be able to cook up some sort of tracking algorithm for that. That's specific enough.
The other option is simply work that angle too. We're definitely going to want to work that angle. But the other option is, I'm assuming he doesn't live at World of Coke. We have a name. We have a place of business, although we don't have a specifics of business. That should be enough if they are even a slightly like actual person to get a look to
Yeah.
get docs on.
Oh yeah. And if passion is his thing, maybe he's also a frequenter of one of Atlanta's many great gentlemen's clubs. So, see if we can figure out where he hangs out. Yeah, no, I can get a few information threads going that way. Once this, look over at Nico. You got anything for this?
You mean the fact that you're blitzed out of your gourd?
Yeah.
I can try. Here. William, what roll would I make to cure him of a hangover?
Intelligence medicine.
Or of being drunk at least.
Right.
Create a quick cleanse. You got weird shit to mix.
Yep. Does holistic awareness play into this at all?
Yes.
Do I add those as dots or?
Yeah, add that as dots, unless it says specifically how it applies. I don't know if
let me check just to be sure. As I go through the other 12 books I have open right now to the actual World of Darkness one. Okay.
I was talking earlier about how I play the lightest version of the World of Darkness, and then I just introduced you to Mr. White in the session.
Right. No, it's basically just intelligence and medicine. It doesn't add any bonus or anything. So.
All right, yeah. So add the merit dots of your holistic awareness to it, and half of your ranks in your
Okay, I'll just roll another 2d10
You're in-
then.
yeah. Add half the ranks of your endowment.
So 5 successes total.
Nice.
Exceptional success.
So yes, you can very quickly whip up a very
Right.
strong hangover cure. It'll taste like vomit, but it'll clear him up.
Right. It's going to go down tasting like what usually comes up. Hold your nose and chug.
Grabs
And
it.
then deep breaths for 5 minutes.
I grab it. You don't even want to know about the kind of stuff that I had to deal with overseas. And drunk.
Yep. It'll take, like you said, it'll take 5 minutes of just like circular breathing.
Oh yeah, and he just
And
sort of like
then
gets
clear out.
he sort of gets comfortable and like almost enters what looks like a meditative state as he just sort of focuses on the ceiling.
This guy knows what's up. I'm proud of him.
So eventually you sober up with that.
Shake my head after a while. The only problem with John Carver is that there's no way to convincingly drink a lot without drinking at least a little. And if you have to drink at least a little for a long period of time, you end up drinking a lot.
So we have some directions to go.
Yep.
I hate
So I hate to like ask the question that people seem to be implicitly trusting, but how certain can we be that this demon's advice is sound? He is a demon after all.
I'm confident.
She seemed pretty hype about the idea of us shaking up the existing power structure
It's
and
good
being
for
able to take
her.
advantage
Yeah.
of the ensuing chaos and confusion. I think she stands a lot more to gain by us yanking this relic linchpin out of the structure that's holding the authority web in place than randomly fucking over an isolated cell of hunters.
Worst case,
Yeah, I guess
scenario.
if they use that nail as a threat to hold over demons like
yeah.
her, then I guess if they can't use that threat to hold over her anymore, then
If she was telling the truth about what they use the nail for, which we can't 100% trust,
I'm confident she was.
I will take your
Worst
word
case
on that, but I'm
scenario.
just going to not trust her regardless. Worst case scenario, it does something completely different, and after we acquire it, she tries to kill us to take it. At which point we kill her.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
No, it's a demon hierarchy, power hierarchy, just like any power hierarchy. Those in power have something that they hold over the rest. We pull that away. That's good for people like Ciento.
My general opinion is don't trust anyone. However, act on the information you're given and see what falls out.
Yep. I am reasonably confident in this. That said, I hate to be the person to keep bringing this kind of stuff up, but I want us all on the same page as to what our goals are on these items once we get them in our hands.
Grab them, destroy them.
Immediately.
Especially, we definitely want to destroy them immediately because if she is lying and is planning on ambushing us as soon as we get it, the quicker we destroy it, the quicker that incentive goes away.
Yep.
And that's going to be
Well,
true for
and-
everybody that we deal with regarding these items.
Yeah,
Assume
'cause-
if anybody tells us that what we're looking for is bad for them, that they're lying to us, so that we either won't get it or that we'll treat it differently than they want us to treat it, so that they can steal it from us.
Exactly.
And let's be honest, the while there's no second place prize for this little competition that we've set for ourselves, keeping them around and
Just-
possibly having something happen where one of them gets lost and we have to
Or grabbed or whatever.
Colleen,
yeah.
if you're right, Colleen, if you're cool with it, we will feed these things to you right off the bat so that it's done and over with, and we can just move on to the next one without worrying what might not have happened to the one that we just found.
yeah, I'd be okay with dealing with these immediately.
Because with all due
Yeah,
respect,
I was also going to ask, are you okay with the term feeding? I mean, if there's another word you'd rather use, you let us know.
Not gonna lie, it sounds a little weird at times, but honestly, there really
Fair.
isn't a better term.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is like absorb.
Give them? Why don't we just give them to Colleen?
Discorporate? Oh.
yeah, like as much as it'd be nice, some of these items are going to have descriptors that feel very much like something one or more of us is going to want.
They're going to be real tempting. Yeah.
And as much as it'd be nice to be able to deal with specific threats in specific ways, the issue that we're going to have is we're getting this information from not the horse's mouth. We're getting this information from the horse trader's mouth, which is not going to be trustworthy all the time, not going to be accurate all the time, and quite frankly, with the ultimate end up of what happens if we don't destroy them being, that's probably the only source of information that I trust is the dead guy. Not worth it.
Because what does he have
Well,
to lose,
and-
right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. What does he have
And-
to lose?
Or
The
gain.
thing that we've got going for us
Fun.
right now, and let's be honest, the one thing we've got going for us right now is that these groups won't expect that we can do this stuff.
Yep.
Once we prove we can, if they can get them back, they will make sure we never get our hands on them again. At which point we can kiss the world goodbye.
That's actually a very good point that you raised, Miss Sky. Should we perhaps do more information gathering before we're known as a group of people going around town and destroying relics?
That's actually a really good point. Because it's going to get harder once we prove we can make them go away. It's going to get harder to get information, especially if they're things people want.
My only concern about that, and it's fair, I would say two things. One, these aren't groups that generally talk and work together, so they're not necessarily going to know. Remember, these are all individual items that, like the demons don't know that Helena's nail has anything to do with
The Iron Crown.
Lucius's dildo or whatever the fuck.
Some of them don't.
Sure.
But we know that there's a council. We know that there's a council of individuals acting behind the scenes.
Right.
Also,
Paul sort of shudders when you say Lucius's dildo and says, "It reminds me of a relic, actually." That what?
Nope, don't want to hear about
I'm really excited to hear about that later. The other thing is, this is information that we can't sit on for a long time because the information that we get, or the people that we're going after, that information could change very quickly.
Absolutely.
Something to ruminate over for everybody then. Paul, you're decently good at forgery and that sort of thing, making duplicates and yada, 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 right?
Again, it's something I've been called upon to do a time or two. Yeah.
Right. It would be a shame if anybody out in the greater supernatural metropolis found out that for whatever mystical reason we had to sit on all of these until Colleen could discorporate them in a single ceremonial mystical manner that is the only way to properly do it. And so we've got these things lying around in secure places that are 100% the actual genuine article.
Oh, says Paul, as if an idea is occurring to him for the first time. Oh, so what you're suggesting? Oh, that's very clever. Right. So we could. So what you're saying is that we could create decoys of these items.
Because if we're known as people who are grabbing up relics and immediately destroying them, that's going to draw a certain level of unwanted attention, as you guys referenced previously. If we're thought to be just grabbing them and holding them on towards some unknown indefinite future date, that's going to garner a different type of attention, and there might not be quite as much impetus
Better idea
on that, and people might want to wait for us to do all the hard work for them, and so they can grab them all at the very last minute.
Better idea, because that idea will still
By
paint
all means.
targets on our backs and make people want to come after us. Grab, duplicate.
Do that anyway.
I mean, yes, but grab, duplicate,
Mhm.
destroy, lose.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That way, we set the duplicates back out, so that we don't have them and they're still hunting for them.
That's true, but as soon as somebody gets their hands on a duplicate, they can probably test to see whether it's the genuine pretty damn easily.
Oh
right
yeah,
off the bat.
absolutely. But while they're doing that, they're not hunting us.
Yeah, that's true. We can definitely keep them as flares, more or less, to dump and run away with.
Yeah, I'm thinking a blade of armor, basically.
Yeah.
Something comes after us, we let them get away with the. We fight real hard to not let them get away with the decoys.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Anyway,
so,
just some basic concepts for you guys to mull over and decide whether you think that's good or if there's a better plan.
I mean, so I guess the question then is, do we go straight for this Mr. White and try and find this nail, or do we keep that information that we know where he is and where to find him for a while and go try and find similar leads with the other items?
Well, we still have to work on the information we've got. We know a location we can find him. We don't know the location we can find him.
but it could, but as Colleen says, couldn't hurt to necessarily get information on the other irons in the fire and then determine how to blitz after maybe several of them at once to reduce the time.
That
Fact.
one.
It's at that point, by the way, that any of you with electronic items on you
Mhm.
find them fizzing and starting to die.
Nico's going to sort of set his phone on the table and just sort of,
Bzz, bzz, bzz.
oh shit,
This
oh
can't
sh-
be
oh
good.
fuck,
What's
oh
that?
fuck, oh god.
And that's where we're gonna end for the week.
Yeah.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
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 Goodbye.